Ladies and gentlemen, let's just embrace this real quickly while we have it. Figured I'd put this in here. You know what? Let me, even better, let me make it full screen. Chelsea are gonna win the league. It's no shame in being a Chelsea fan, Chris. We've won it all.
There is shameless, like when two games are played and one for everyone else.
We're gonna win the league.
So yeah, do that in your prediction. We'll go win the league.
Big up to every single one of you. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to also subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Welcome to the match review for West Ham 1, and we know who to blame on that one. Chelsea 5. Ladies and gentlemen, an absolute goal fest of a game today from Chelsea Football Club. Great performance from Chelsea outside of the stupid mistakes in the beginning. And yeah, plenty to talk about. As always, guys, smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Check out the links in the description below for more content that's available for you guys. And also, comments. Let me know your thoughts on the game below if you're watching this in the future. And hit the bell notification so you know whenever we do go live. And also be sure to check out the membership. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p for you guys to enjoy and all the perks and all that stuff. Okay. I mean, as always, this is going to be better than the first time I did it. A little bit of a summary of the game. And this time there's more of a summary because we actually had some goals involved. So, Chelsea went out today with a lineup that they announced with Cole Palmer. But unfortunately, in the warm-up, Cole Palmer felt something. We'll read about that shortly. I have a tweet in regards to that. And we had to make a last-minute substitution, or not even a substitution, a last-minute change to the lineup. And Esteval had his first Premier League start for Chelsea as a Chelsea player. And we had pretty much the same lineup we had last time, barring Achimpong didn't start. It was João Pedro now, or not João Pedro, I'm sorry. Tosin returned to the lineup. We had Gusto at right back instead of Reece James, and we kind of went into like a 4-2-4, a 4-3-1 type of formation, or 4-2-3-1, I should say. Yeah, it was it looked like we were going much more for attacking prowess than anything else. But I mean, obviously the panel will have their own opinions on that, and you can tell me if you agree or not. But to summarize the game, that's the lineup. And unfortunately, Chelsea started off on the wrong foot. A lot of pressure coming from the West Ham end. You know, we were trying to soak up as much as we could, and unfortunately, a little bit of an Esteval mistake. He tried to do a little heel flick to try to nutmeg. I can't remember who won the ball from him. I don't think it was. Wow, why am I forgetting his name? I don't think it was Paqueta, but yeah, I think it was Diouf that won it from Esteval. He tried to nutmeg him, but it failed. Gets his possess. Then Paqueta has all the space. You could say maybe that Caicedo maybe should have closed him down, gave him the space, and then Paqueta, you know, shoots a rocket of a shot that honestly, a better goalkeeper saves it. I'll be honest with you. Sanchez makes a meal of it, tries to save it with it's on his left hand side, and he tries to save it with his right hand, which is the shorter reach. Absolutely a brainless type of save. Stupid error from Sanchez. We all knew it was coming eventually, right? So no defensive Sanchez on that one. And we're starting the game off on the wrong note. All right, so we're down 1-0, and obviously me, being the fan I am, and us I should say us, really. I think most of us can agree. We were all okay. I think we all kind of knew we were going to come back from this because it's West Ham. Like, they didn't look that convincing, and it didn't take that long for Chelsea to score the equalizer, and it was none other than João Pedro. So a great goal from João Pedro. I believe, if I'm trying to remember this correctly, oh yeah, it was a corner, or at least a cross. No, it was a corner. It was a corner that Cucurella ends up flicking over to João Pedro. João Pedro reacts to it and gets a header on it, which great to see. Chelsea, we have headers again. This is fantastic. Chelsea score a header from João Pedro. Well placed. Nothing that Areola could do about it. And yeah, from there, Chelsea are now 1-1. It didn't take that much longer, though, for our defense to get exposed again a little bit. And it was a little concerning in the beginning. I'm not going to lie to you. It was I forgot who scored it, but I think it was Fulkrug. Fulkrug ends up getting receiving a cross or a deflection. Sanchez is still trying to get up from the initial attempted save. Doesn't get up in time, and I'm not going to put too much onus on Sanchez, maybe more on the center backs here for giving Fulkrug so much space. Fulkrug slots it in, and luckily for Chelsea, I won't even say that much luck because I think we were going to come back from this game regardless. But luckily for Chelsea, the goal is caught offside. So Chelsea still remains 1-1. As the game goes on, Chelsea start to create more chances. Chelsea start to control the game a little more. We look a little bit more fluid, look a little better. The midfield started to get more control of the game as well. And 23 minutes into the match, we eventually see an open play goal. West Ham lost possession. We regain it. João Pedro crosses it very precisely into the feet of Pedro Neto on the far post. And Neto, very well placed goal. One touch puts us up 2-1. And good for Neto. Neto looked brilliant today, in my opinion. He looked like he couldn't be stopped today. Very, very good performance from Pedro Neto. Good performance from a lot of the players today, to be honest. And again, didn't take that much longer until Chelsea got their third goal, thanks to Enzo Fernandez receiving a brilliant run from Esteval. It was actually a brilliant team goal, to be honest. I think it was Caicedo. No, it was Gusto won the ball, gives it to Esteval. Esteval lays it off to Gusto. Gusto then goes to, I think it goes to Esteval again. Esteval lays it off to Delap. Delap lays it off to Esteval. Esteval is clear, makes a run. Brilliant run from Esteval. Low ground-driven cross to Enzo Fernandez, who also made a brilliant run on that left-hand side to find that space and slot that ball in to make Chelsea ahead 3-1 before we go into halftime. And at this point, the West Ham fans were already walking out of the stadium. These fans have had enough of this team, and it's the result was very much embarrassing for them. It's a huge blow to be ahead and now be losing 3-1 at halftime. So advantage to Chelsea, of course. Halftime found West Ham actually making some subs, so a lot of people got sinker and hooks from Graham Potter there. But listen, we all know what Graham Potter is and the manager he's become, and yeah, it's showing at West Ham. I'm going to say this now before we actually do the predictions, but I do believe he's going to be the first manager to get sacked this season. We'll talk about that backstage. But anyways, second half comes out, and we go into the second half, and it took maybe less than 10 minutes for Chelsea to find yet again the back of the net, and this time it's thanks to Caicedo from a set piece. I think Enzo Fernandez takes the corner. It finds Caicedo. I think it was like a bounce in the box or something like that, and Caicedo ends up reacting to it. It goes behind the net, and we're up 4-1. Great goal from Caicedo. Caicedo, who had his 100th appearance as a Chelsea player today. Brilliant to see that. Good on Caicedo. Big up to him. And guys, I mean, I felt like the goals were going to be nonstop today, because 4 minutes later, another goal from Chelsea. this time making it 5-1. This time an assist from João Pedro. I think it was a corner, then João Pedro volleys it up or something like that. And Chalaba's there to get it. I think it was João Pedro kind of just continues the ball into the far post, and I think it was Enzo and Chalaba that were there for it. And Chalaba ends up getting the goal. So good on Chalaba as well to score and made the game 5-1. It was nice to see, since we were ahead, it was nice to see some cameos from certain players. Santos came on for Delap. We were playing with two strikers, so it wasn't necessary anymore. Delap, who I think relatively had a good game. Obviously no GNA, but he did set up 2 goals that he didn't get an assist for, but he did play a part in the build-up play for it. And we saw Santos come on, get a good amount of minutes, 20 minutes for Santos, not even 30 minutes for Santos. Gusto came on, Gusto came off for Reece James. Gusto, who had a decent game as well. Hato came on, Fofana came on. Good to see Fofana playing as well. Looked a little shaky, but of course that's what you're going to expect from not having played football for almost half a year. But get some fitness under the legs for him. Eventually, we saw Esteval come off, who won man of the match today's game for Gittins. And overall, just a solid, convincing performance. Very similar to how our second game of the season last season went, to be honest, against Wolves. And so, a convincing performance from Chelsea, as was expected. I don't think any of us really expected us to win 5-1, but we did expect to get a win today. And it was an away win as well, which has been something. What was that?
Someone expected Chelsea to win 5-1.
Yeah, we don't talk about that fraud. Anyways, it was it was a good away win, which is something Chelsea have struggled with in the last season. And going into this season, away wins have not been our forte. So the more away wins we can rack up, and the more undefeated. The more of an undefeated run we can have at Stamford Bridge, the better for this season. But we'll start off with CP. CP, if you're there, start us off. I mean, what were your thoughts on today's game? Who impressed you? What impressed you? Let's go from there, man.
I just want to say once again, João Pedro changed my life. I know I sound like a recovering drug addict, but I kind of am.
That too?
You
can eat the tattoo?
I said if he scored one more goal, he didn't get the score. You know what I'm saying? He got an assist. Okay. I kind of sound like a recovering drug addict or something like that, or you know what I'm saying? But the drug was not us scoring goals. So I finally have a striker who scores goals and assists and is clinical. And you know what, Marshall? I haven't seen a striker score 2 headers in a span of 2 weeks since Diego Costa. You know how beautiful that is? You know what I'm saying? I had a man score a header against AC Milan 3 weeks ago, and then score another header 3 weeks after that AC Milan. Dude, this is what dreams are made of. If you told last year CP, 2 years ago CP, 3 years ago CP, 4 years ago CP, that I would have a striker who could score 2 headers in a span of a month, my God, I'll be like, what are you selling me? What are these magic beans? But you know what? João Pedro's the magic beans that, you know what I'm saying? João Pedro's the magic beans, but I can't believe he's changed my life. Delap, even though he didn't get the goal, he caused the chaos and havoc he needed to allow others to have space. He had some flick on and stuff, even for the Esteval assist. To Enzo, it was a flick from him, and things of that sort. Sometimes it was coming out, sometimes it wasn't, but great for him. Pedro Neto, great defensive work, and obviously great job for the goal. So, and then great job for box crashing too. And Esteval making a mistake for the first goal, and losing the ball. Funny enough, it feels like he's kind of trying to do the Hazard flick. Remember when Hazard, the ball used to come to him, used to flick it behind from his back. I think
real quick, I'm sorry. I just realized it wasn't Areola that played today. This is how much I wasn't paying attention to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's Leicester's goalkeeper.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's Leicester. Yeah, they bought him. But
I forgot about
feel
that.
like he's trying to pull that like Hazard flick, but it hasn't come off yet. I guess I think he'll understand the timing and spacing of the Premier League a bit more, and it'll come off more. He
Yeah,
had a chance for a second goal, which was like a great ball by Reece James that I thought was about to get intercepted, but it got trickled through. Like I thought it was gonna get intercepted because I was like, the defender's right, but great by Reece James, and also bad by the defender. But Esteval, I think, thought it through too much in terms of trying to. He like faked it twice, I feel like, or it had 2 touches before the shot when he should have just pulled the trigger. But I think that'll come with time. He's young anyways. Enzo Fernandez, good box crashing. The defense was okay in terms of Towson at times seemed flat-footed. Similar to the AC Milan game. That's what it seems like to me. So, but the pre-pause, like the balls he was spraying and kind of that fluidity that we were missing last game, which is why Maresca said Caldwell and him are so important in that center back position, really showed again, because we got to our midfield and wingers quicker. It also could be that West Ham are shit too, but we'll see how it is next game, like next week. If that thought experiment goes through. And obviously Sanchez, I would say, was 70% at fault for that goal. I would say 30% on Esteval for losing the ball.
Yeah.
But because I'm sorry that with your right hand.
Yeah, I mean, we should start off with that, right? Like, that's the first thing we should criticize, of course.
The thing is, like, with your right hand, you were fingertips away. So why didn't you just use your left hand, which is on the side it's going for? Yeah, which is the side it's at, and you could have probably saved it, because you did a pretty good reaction save in the second half, which I'll give you credit for.
Yeah.
But you could have done that if you just used the hand that the ball's going towards instead of this bullshit.
The only thing I can possibly think that the only reason it would even make sense to me as to why he did that is because he's a righty and you're more inclined to do things with your right hand. But even still, like, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's a goal. Yeah, exactly. Goalkeepers are supposed to be good with both hands.
He's a professional goalkeeper.
Exactly. Yeah, you've been doing this for long enough. You should know to do it with your left hand, dude. That's
and then. Yeah, one thing I forgot to point out with what AKZ said was Caicedo, first of all, congrats to you for your 100th appearance for Chelsea. You being captain and you getting a goal. It seems like every time you do score, it's pretty good goals, pretty good bangers, or just decent goals in general. That one hit bar down. So great for him. So overall, everyone, I would say, besides, it
feels so quick. He's already played 100 games though, Anad.
Right. I would say besides Towson and probably Sanchez, in terms of our starting lineup, I think those were probably the 2 worst performers for me personally.
Who's 2 worst performers?
Who's 2 worst performers?
I would say Sanchez first, and then Towson.
Okay, yeah.
Because I felt like everyone else contributed. Everyone got goals and assists, and their defense. It's just Towson being flat-footed at times. I'm not saying he was the worst, by the way. Like,
I don't even think you're saying he's bad, but he was just saying of a good.
Yeah, like he was a 6.5 for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I get what
and then Sanchez was like a 4.
Was probably a 4.
And then everyone else was like an 8. And because he wasn't an 8, that's why I'm putting Towson as like the second worst in terms of.
I mean, we almost conceded twice if it wasn't for Caicedo blocking out the line as well.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe it's just a little bit of rust from Towson, but I did notice that in the AC Milan game. So maybe Josh Achipong's when we're facing strikers that are not as physical, maybe Josh Achipong might be the better option. But then you lose the out ball that Towson does, so we'll have to figure that out in due time. But overall, great game, good setup. We got to see 2 intercepts or 2 strikers, but João Pedro playing on the left/10. So yeah. Overall, great. We couldn't have asked for anything better in terms of literally everyone contributed. Like our left back, both our midfielders scored. All our attackers besides Delap scored or assisted, and Delap did contribute. It's just he didn't get GNA. So basically, everyone contributed.
Chris.
Yeah.
I gotta hand the mic over to you. And what are your thoughts on this kid? The happiest kid at Chelsea Football Club.
Honestly, this guy, what
man
kid?
of the match.
I don't I don't think he's man of the match, but he was still one of our top performers. Yeah, I still think he's one of our top performers, and for his age, he's shown a lot of promise in this guy.
You know what I think happened, Chris? I think that run he made for the assist to Enzo, that carried him. That was a brilliant run.
I don't know, like Eden or something. Like Eden would like running like that. Like he didn't have to take on everyone, but like the way he linked up the pass and then take on like 1 or 2 players, and then get the assist or something. No, I'm not saying he's Eden. No. Like there's no he'd be the next Esteban anyway. Just I hate like saying, oh, you'll be this player like Robert, or no, he'd be Esteban, man. He'd be Esteban. But yeah, like what a day! Like I said, like what a debut for this kid as well, because like we've been seeing it like in the preseason, even in the club.
He needed a goal today.
Yeah, I know.
He needed a goal,
but like his whole thing today, what really impressed me was his dribbling ability and taking on people. Yeah, he had a few shaky passes, or he could have maybe scored that goal where Reece James did that really good ball to him. But like he's young, he's got to do these mistakes, and if you're just going over the top for him, like, I don't see the reason, because you can see a lot of talent in this guy, this kid. I don't know what to say, guy or kid, because he's like just turned 18.
He's 18. He turned 18 in April.
Yeah. He's just unreal for his age, and yeah, it's just very lucky like we got him at this club, because we only paid 30 million for him like a couple of seasons ago, and that's how good the scouts are, because I can see it, like his ability is like that, like next level. I can see, and had like it's actually been a CP's been seen obviously a lot of Esteban, and he told me and others as well how good he was, and I can see it. His debut, what a debut to have as well, because yeah, like he was definitely one of our top players, and I don't know if I should really expect that, because like he's our youngest player for sure, and like one of our youngest players maybe ever, like the debut. I think maybe like in the Premier League game anyway. But yeah, like great debut for the guy. Yeah, he should have maybe got a goal, but like he'd definitely get his goal. You can see it in him. He'd get his goal for Chelsea for sure. Like in the next game or whatever. I don't know who we got next, but there's a bright future for the kid anyway. For sure. Very happy he got man of the match anyway. I don't really mind to get man of the match, but yeah, like maybe he does deserve man of the match actually. Yeah, for how young he is. I don't know. Like they're all really good today. But yeah, are you on mute?
Yeah, I am on mute. Sorry.
Okay, I thought you spoke.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, Scott, listen, man. It wasn't too long ago where we were actually questioning if this guy was actually going to be ready to start for the Premier League. I think we were all saying, yeah, it's going to take some time for him to adapt and, acclimatize. I'm not sure what these reports are thinking that he's going to start. I think it's a mistake and all this and that. Like all types of criticism that we had for it. But surely you must feel different after this performance.
What was the question? I wasn't paying attention. I apologize.
I didn't hear it either, actually.
It was no question. It was really your opinion on Esteval.
Oh, he was amazing. Like, he delivered what I think we all expected him to deliver. Like, first kind of 10 minutes was a bit shaky, but I think that kind of went for everyone. But as soon as he and the rest of the team got their, like, feet under them, so to speak, like he was incredible. Like the assist and just the driving forward for the Enzo goal, his overall play just in terms of being able to go on the outside, go on the inside, like he was incredible today. Should have had another goal, by the way. Should have had a goal at the end, but hesitated too long.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't even there. There was no intention for him to start today. On top of it, too, like he prepared to start 5 minutes before the game actually started because of Cole Palmer. Actually, speaking of Cole Palmer, I might as well bring this into the conversation. I have a tweet in regards to this. So yeah, Enzo Maresca says that Cole Palmer felt something and they took him out of the team as a precaution. Hopefully it's just a knock. Nothing too serious. Obviously they're gonna assess it over the course of these next few days and such, but yeah.
Is that a training kit? That's the fiery kit.
It's a good kit. Yeah, it's a good training kit. But yeah, so that's the whole situation why Esteval even started. So yeah, Esteval wasn't even expected to start today, but the fact that he stepped up to the plate when he did, in just the notice that he even got to do it, it's impressive to see at his age. I guess we can continue the Esteval conversation. Ahmed, what are your thoughts on this kid's debut today?
I had the pleasure of watching the highlights.
I don't like when you smile. I
had the pleasure of watching the highlights. And
wait, huh? Oh yeah, because you needed to watch oily men wrestle each other today, right?
That's a you problem, Marshall. If you don't like it, that's your problem. But as I said before, that's not my problem. But
not denying it, but yeah, there you go.
Listen, I got to watch the greatest
Marshall
Japanese
die in
wrestler of all time.
those rings. So
Yeah, you know, Chris is the
I probably would. I'm not denying
one
it.
one chop from like Gunther or something, he'd be dying.
It could
Yeah,
even be from Rhea Ripley. You know, I would probably die.
Okay. See, there's the sex legend in the matter, but we move. But you know, listen,
Okay.
I'm trolling a little bit. I was able to watch the game somewhat, but I was basically watching it like this and watching the wrestling at the same time. Luckily, it wasn't like one of the main event parts of the thing, but essentially, I think listen, Esteban had a solid game. He was able to create chances. He looked good, but I will again, it is against West Ham. That's what I will always say. I don't want us to get, you know, too ahead of ourselves because he's having good performances. So I want to say yesterday, great performance. We had a great cameo, obviously the last game, but I don't want us to obviously at the same time not get too ahead of ourselves at the same time too. That's just the context I would probably be looking at more than anything else. No disrespect to Esteban, by the way. I'm actually being like quite.
I was gonna say, for
I
his
don't think he's
age and everything
disrespecting
though,
Esteban.
like a really good game for him though, because like
No.
this is
Again, there's no.
debut
I don't think
and-
there's any denying that, but I think for me, you know, again, he's had a good game. I just the one thing I don't want us to do here, because like I see it on social media a lot of the time. I even see on the stuff that I do on the for Sky Sports as well, is that you know, like I really do feel like a lot of the time, like you know, they will like yes, he's having his performance, but like it's almost like overdone, right? And so you know, it's almost setting him up to fail. If that makes sense. So that's why I'm always trying to like you know.
I get that.
That's the way
Taming
I
your
kind of move in.
expectations.
Yeah, I'm trying to tame the expectations, right? Because otherwise, man, imagine if he plays against Fulham next week. I'm not saying I want this to happen, for example, right? But he had a stinker against Fulham, right? And
Who had a
you
stinker
all know.
against
Who had a stinker against Fulham?
No, I'm saying, imagine hypothetically, for example,
Oh.
Esteban does not play well.
Do
Yeah,
you
but
think he
I'm-
would though?
But the thing
No.
Yeah.
There's a difference between if I think he would, but I'm just giving like a easy.
he can have his
hypothetical.
stinker games anyway. You
No,
got
but it's like an easier. It's an easier hypothetical because the point I'm trying to make is that
even
I would
Cole
next year
Palmer has a
Fulham.
stinker
Like,
games.
I will next year, like the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
is that
no, I know
will
what the
next
point
year-
you're making.
Yeah, I will next year is Fulham, for example, right? And so if we has a stinker against Fulham, for example, we all know what people are gonna start saying. So for me, that's why I'm
But-
always like with him. That's why I'm always, and I think for me, the reason why I'm even more objective with him is the age too.
Yeah, I
He's
get
a
that.
very young player, right?
I mean,
That's the difference.
listen,
Yeah.
you didn't watch the game, right? But if you did watch
I didn't watch the game. I'm saying I watched the game in parts. It wasn't like I watched the full 90, but
no, but like
I was
you
watching-
weren't like fully focused on the game, right?
Yes.
And I understand that, and that is what it is. Like, obviously, you had other things that you had to do. That's fine. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, I when you mention the age, I get what you're saying because there were times today where, and CP might disagree with this. Maybe the majority of the panel might disagree with this, but like, you know. It might not even be an age thing. It might just be like acclimatizing to the league, right? It's that little flick, right? That first flick that caused the first goal, right? He tried it again later in the game, and I did get a little frustrated because it's like, okay, dude, come on, like let's sometimes just keep it simple. Because even though he didn't get GNA today, Delap kept it simple.
He did get
Just
GNA.
lay it off.
No, you mean Delap.
No, I mean Delap. Yeah, Delap.
yeah.
Even though he didn't get GNA today, he did keep it simple. Just pass it off, lay it off, just get the pass, right? Whereas Esteval, which again, I don't want to discourage Esteval from doing that, but it's also like it feels like a time and place, and also like don't take that away from your game, but also take your time to acclimatize to the league and the environment you're in before you start really like trying to experiment with these little flicks and tricks that maybe you got away with in Serie A in Brazil versus here in the Premier League. Like it who knows? It could have cost us a second goal because it cost us a first goal. You know what I mean? It's just these little mistakes that he did rectify afterwards. I think he made up for it, obviously, in the performance that he had, which is clear to see. But I don't know if that's an age thing or if that's a league thing. But I do see where Ahmed's coming from in that take. I mean, obviously, you guys probably have a reaction to that, but I mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd just allow it though with him like doing all these not experiment like things. He's just one of those players who's like technical and he's got to do these flicks and tricks and like pass like styles or whatever and he's got to try to take on a player and like he's got to learn. Like that's the thing. Like we have to take that risk with him because like how young he is, and I don't really want to see like people going over the top if he does like I don't know, like, you know, that goal you can see today. If someone went over the top over Esteban, then I don't know, they didn't touch grass or something because like he's just 18 or something. Like it's just not that deep, but he's gonna learn and he's gonna get better. You can see like in him, like in that Crystal Palace game when he came on, he looked good. Yeah, he did that. Obviously, he should have looked up and saw Neto and gave it to him, but he didn't. That's just the inexperience in Esteban, but you can see it in that game. Even Jamie Carragher, I'm pretty sure, is like praising Esteban because he can even see something in Esteban. There's a lot of people who can see something in this Esteban kid, and I don't know. Just let him be free, man. Just do his thing.
But let me ask Ahmed something, because I know Ahmed, you're taming your expectations, but that probably comes from a place of like you probably have other feelings and you're trying to hold back. Like, what are your actual feelings towards Esteval? Do you think he should start the next game? Do you think that he's actually should be a starter for this team? Do you think he's as hype as he should be? Like, what are your actual feelings on Esteval? And I obviously I understand taming expectations. Like, we should all be taming expectations. But if I had to unleash and, you know, not say tame my expectations, my honest expectations of Esteval is that he's going to be. He could be young player of the season this season. That's how I feel about Esteval.
Yeah, I think for me, as I've always said, I think this season is the adjusting season for him. Hopefully, right? You embed him in with time. He can be the backup. Obviously, if he's better than the backup, of course he can start him, right? That makes sense in terms of his performances. But ideally for me, it's about embedding him in, making sure he's able to do stuff. Well, there's gonna be times where he's gonna be very inconsistent and everything like that. So for me, that's the way I look at him more so than anything else. And I said this before, my expectations for this guy is probably just 5 goals this season. Let's call me 5 goals, gave me a couple of assists.
Really?
That's all my expectations for him are very
because he doesn't think he'd be a star.
Do you think he's actually going to do that though? Based on what you've seen so far, do you think he's actually only going to
Yeah, of course, there's a real possibility that he can do that. But for me, the reason why I keep my
you're not really on the hype train.
Yes, the reason why I'm keeping my expectation low for him, because again, I'm not like maybe someone like CP who's been able to watch him quite consistently and maybe understands a bit more. For me, the way I look at him is very simply like he's a lot younger. I want to make sure that he has as ample time as possible to get to the level that we want him to be and to push him on.
Do you guys, I mean, Scott, do you agree with that? I mean, someone who's kind of in the middle, you haven't really watched much of Esteval. CP obviously is probably going to maybe push back on that, but I mean, Scott, you probably not seen that much of Esteval, but based on what you've seen, do you think that 5 goals a season is good enough for this player?
Yeah, that's kind of what I said to begin with, because like he only came into the league with, like, when he was in Brazil, he only got 13 goals and 12 assists last season. And so like you translate to the Premier League. I'm looking at going, okay, first season Premier League, learning the league and everything. We weren't sure at the time when we made these predictions how are they going to handle the physicality. Like I kind of said, like, I think I said 5 goals and like 5 assists or like 6 assists or something like that would be a good season, and it still would be. Like, it seems like he's going to get more than that, but like I don't think. My thing with Esteval is I kind of agree with Armin the point of I don't think there should be an expectation put on him in terms of the season. Like anything he gives us, is a positive in terms of like what he's showing in terms of like the way he plays. Not necessarily, obviously, if he has a poor performance, then I don't will say he has a poor performance. But I'm talking like just watching him be able to connect with the team, whether it's playing in the 10. Playing on the right, playing with Palmer, playing with Pedro, playing with Neto, playing with whoever. I think that's a positive. And yeah, if we had a very good game, I don't think he should start going forward if everyone's fit. Well, I think the debate is currently him or Delap that you start, because the written in pen starters currently in his team are Pedro, Palmer, and Neto. But 2 of those 3 players, you can move to other positions depending on who else plays, like you saw today. So I'm saying if you start the lap, then Esteval's not a starter, because I'm starting Palmer on the right, Pedro in the middle, Neto on the left. Or if I start Esteval, it's Pedro up front, Esteval on the right, Palmer in the middle. So it's one of him or the lap that has the whole bench, because the other 3 are written in pen starters. If they're fit, obviously.
Let me ask CP this. Do Because I think today Steval was given the role of like, listen, Cole Palmer's not here. We're going to ask you to be that Cole Palmer role. Were you satisfied with the performance he had as like a backup to Cole Palmer? And going forward, do you think maybe that's something that we can use him as and not just like a right winger?
Yeah. So actually, my ideal lineup,
Go for it.
if people develop well and stuff, I think I mentioned this to you last week, right? Which was Xavi Simons on the left, Palmer in the middle, and Esteval on the right. The reason being because all of them can play 10s and all of them can play either wing. So there's just so much fluidity in the front line, kind of like PSG. That's what my thing is, right? There's so much fluidity and chaos in front of whichever opposition we're playing that, you know, that's what is ideal if people develop. Like if we get Simmons and Esteval continues developing and surpassing Pedro Neto. Sorry. Pedro Neto, yeah, sorry.
Is that how
There's
you
two
felt
Joaos
today?
and
That he surpassed Pedro Neto?
No. I'm saying that's the
Or
ideal.
if
I'm
he's
saying
going to
that should
eventually?
happen in the future. Yeah, to eventually would. That's
I don't
my
disagree with that. Really.
ideal scenario,
just
right?
know.
But I agree with Scott
Neto
right
is
now.
26 maybe? No.
I think 25,
Let me
26.
check.
But I agree with Scott right now. Is Pedro Neto's on form since the Club World
25.
Cup, so he's
Yeah.
undroppable, and Joao Pedro's
Neto
also
looked really good
undroppable.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, no, once again, so that's what I'm saying, and same with Palmer. So the only person is Delap or whoever's going to be on the right wing, in my opinion, because I think Esteval, at least right now, quality-wise, is as good as Gittins. He's going to be better than Garnacho, and this is obviously before Xavi Simons comes in. If Xavi Simons comes in, then I agree Xavi Simons is a better overall player right now. So, but before that, I would say I would start him on the right and have Pedro Neto on the left.
I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys have obviously spoke about Delap yet, but when I watched,
I was actually going to go on to lap next.
Because when I watched the game today, the way I looked at him was that, and the reason why I actually liked him starting in this game was because one of the things that I was pushing heavily in preseason that I wanted to do, the manager was trying to do this as well when he was playing that 4-2-2-2, right? Yeah. I've always maintained that I feel like that having Delap and Joao Pedro together is a much more perfect match in heaven being made, because both of them can cover each other's weaknesses, right? And I think Delap actually being there allowed Joao Pedro to be as effective as he was today. That's the thing for me, and that's why for me, my personal opinion, it's a bit difficult for me to say drop Delap, because if I was to bring in, for example, like whether it be Esteval, whoever you want on the right wing or whoever you want on the left wing, right? Joao Pedro essentially becomes a single striker again, right? Becomes a single striker again, right? And so it's then the thing of like, is that viable for us in X or Y Z game, or is it not? If that makes sense, right? Yeah. So that's the only thing I'll probably.
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm going to ask this to the panel. I felt that today, Delap did a lot of the things that Jackson did for us last season. In that sense of like setting up, linking up, just kind of connecting the play and making the attack more fluid. Do you guys feel that same way as well?
Yeah, that's what he did. But I think this is the thing that was. This is one of the things that I've always mentioned. Like against Crystal Palace, for example, that was the thing that actually like kind of helped us towards the end progress the game. If that makes sense, much like that's why that's one of the things I was saying to you. I think particularly with the teams we're facing in this current period, like we've got obviously Crystal Palace we've just faced West Ham. Fulham's next. I think it's who's after Fulham, guys. It's another Brentford, right? Right, but the point
United.
Brentford, right? Yeah. But like even United are even doing this, right? These are guys that are going to be. They've got tall defenders. They've got guys that like to rely upon their physicality, right? So you need to have one of. If you're going to play, that's why the striker that we've got to have. It's got to be a bit more of a bulkier guy and a guy that can cause a bit more problems for them in terms of that department, and whilst also providing that space for some of the other guys around him. So for me, playing that two-man striker formation, the reason why it's so effective is because João Pedro's free. The lap is the one that's caused problem. If you a good example of this, you know the goal that we scored. I think it was either the first goal or was the Caicedo goal, right, for the corner, right? The lap is able to hold off the goalkeeper, giving I think it was either.
Oh, I actually didn't pay attention to that.
Right. So
Wait, who
even
stole Caicedo's?
That keeper, by the way, is absolutely shocking.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
way,
keeper.
man.
Yeah,
it was
the
either
keeper.
Caicedo or
We
someone
kind
else,
of
right?
wanted him. Remember that?
Bro, it was either Caicedo or someone else,
Oh,
right?
wonderful goalkeeping now.
Yeah, but essentially the point I'm trying to make, the look, like that's the sort of thing that we need in the team. And so for me, it's like I hear the point of like maybe he's not scoring goals or assisting goals for us, but I think the other stuff that he's doing for us is, I think, more important for us. If we and plus, if we have a two-man striker formation, a good example I give is the Drogba and Anelka thing, right? Anelka was more so the creator of the two, right? Drogba was a scorer, if that makes sense. But in terms of like, Drogba would be the one that would be, Drogba would be the one that would probably, for example, either of them used to do this, right? Well, one of them would be, when the ball used to go out for them, one of them would always go out wide or whatever it is to the ball first. Usually it would be probably an Anelka most of the time. He would get the ball, he would turn and then look to find the other striker, right? In our case, the difference is, the lap's able to get the ball, turn, and make the pass to whether it be our winger or to our attacker. That's the only difference.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Go ahead, Scott.
I agree on the Delap thing. I think there was a couple moments where like he didn't get beat physically. Well, actually, no, there was one moment where he did get beat physically, but I think most of it was fine. There was a couple moments where his runs weren't great, but like in terms of the link up, it was fantastic. Like when he did get his foot on the ball, it was very good. It was a lot better than the shit. What game was it? It wasn't. Was it a couple
club game?
No, I think it was the Leverkusen game when he started, where he like it didn't look like he was really in touch with everyone. Like this game was a lot better. It looked like he was like in sync with a lot of more players.
He was more involved in this game.
I'm just more involved because there was periods where he wasn't. But it was a case of because this is important for strikers that are like him and you know and guys that aren't always going to be like. You look at João Pedro, for example. He's all action in terms of he's always getting involved, whether it's dropping deep to get the ball, whether it's playing little 1-2s, whatever. Delap isn't always going to do that. So it's similar to like in goal when you're not always having shots on target to you. You've still got to have that concentration. Like so when a shot does come in, it's similar to with him in terms of even though he might always get the ball, he's got to be concentrating and be on it when he does get the ball to make the right decision. I thought he did that very well today. The one thing I will say on this whole debate is if this is going to be the plan going forward, we need to end our interest in Simmons and Garnacho and we need to go and sign another striker. Because you can't have both your strikers playing week in, week out. Yeah. It looks like Jackson's just persona non grata. He's finished. And Kungu's finished. If Pedro's going to play where, not necessarily where he played, but if Palmer's fit, you imagine that the plan is probably Pedro on the left half space, or actually no, even in the 10 and Palmer on the right and Neto on the left. Regardless, that means we don't need another winger. We already have two on both sides.
I still don't think we need Garnacho anyway. I don't.
Oh, no, we don't need Garnacho anyway, but we definitely don't.
We
need
have
Simmons.
like Esteban, Gittins, and all these players.
If this is the plan, or if this is something that we're seeing could be the first choice option, we don't need Simmons because João Pedro literally fills that role.
Everything Simmons would do. Will play because I think we were saying before, like after the Crystal Palace game, it would probably makes sense for Delap to start the game against West Ham because he's quite physical and all that. But maybe the manager won't play him every game. I don't know. We have to see in that one, don't we? Because I can't see him be the main start like them two together.
I don't think he will. I think ultimately João Pedro will be, but if we're going to go into games and
there's going to be certain games he's needed though.
It's not even if it's needed. It's a case of like if we keep going into games and the consensus becomes it seems as though our best option is having both of them out on the football pitch at the same time, which it could be, it could not be. It's one game in terms of we've seen
still technically have Jackson.
We've seen both of them play together in one game, then play but not together in another game. So we got to wait and see. But if the consensus comes that they need to play together in our best team, I mean, we need another striker because like you cannot have both strikers playing at the same time.
What's happened? Jackson doesn't get sold though. Wouldn't Jackson be like?
Jackson is a bro.
I
That
know.
feels like it's like completely broken at this point. Like
Jackson's good as Villa at this point. There's no
No, he does.
Jackson.
It looks finished at Chelsea,
where-
but
where-
like,
Yeah, it does look
Doesn't
but if he
where
doesn't
he-
get sold, I feel like Jackson will have to have a good attitude
he's
of it.
got,
And
like, no, but he's got Chris. If he
I
was
think
going to
he's-
be involved still, he would have been on the bench for this game. We went into this game
yeah,
with one attacker, 2 attackers on the bench.
it doesn't look like.
And also, Chris, like we need to, and also, Chris, like the club has been quite clear, at least with their briefs, that
Yeah.
Jackson out, Garnacho, and I think was it like
I do think he's sold, by the way.
those two,
I think we will.
So I saw someone make the comment that it's going to be used scantily against weaker opposition, but I would actually disagree though. I think for me, if you're Maresca, this probably works quite well against quite a few of the bigger teams too.
Yeah.
It would be
Well, like,
like,
I think the how do I word this? I think the deciding factor isn't the level of opposition in terms of the weaker teams. It's the teams that are physical defensively. Like Everton, you probably want to play this against Everton.
Yeah.
Because of their centre backs. You probably want to play this way against like Brighton. You can probably get away with it just because of they don't have 2 proper physical
I
centre
feel like
backs.
teams will sit back like really deep as well. Like
It's not even,
that-
I don't think it's necessarily sitting back. I think it's just the physical centre backs that are gonna like be in your face and are going to like get up your arse. Pause. Like that,
Yeah.
it's going to be those type of centre backs that you have to deal with, where you have to play this 2 striker potentially. But like, I'd put Villa potentially in that conversation as well. They're not one of the worst teams, but that's probably a team. So you're looking at the teams like I'd say Burnley. You don't have to do that. You don't really have to do that against
Newcastle are very
Brighton.
physical
Bournemouth
defensive,
for me
but-
too.
Yeah, Bournemouth, you
I
don't
don't
have to.
think Tottenham too, to be honest, because Van
Yeah,
der
Tottenham,
Ven.
you don't have- But that's what I'm saying. So it's not a level of opposition. It's a how are their centre backs going to play against you? Because you saw today, we had 3 physical centre backs, especially Kilman, the central centre back. We had 3 physical centre backs who wanted to get into Delap and into the front line, and so it made sense for Delap to play. It kind of like it was kind of the same for Palace in the end, and we probably should have played that. But like,
No, I agree with Scott, and also I think we don't need another striker just because Champions League, it's gonna be similar to PSG games where we're gonna have more open spaces and stuff and more intricate play, which is why Xavi Simons would work out more for me compared to a Delap. Like especially those games, I'm putting João Pedro as striker and having technical wingers and ballers behind him to create havoc.
But listen, this isn't me defending Jackson, and to an extent it could be a little bit of paranoia playing a factor, but like last season we lost both our strikers around the same time, right?
Yeah.
Which is, it's rare, but don't you feel to an extent like Jackson can play a role in this team?
no.
And at the same time, like there could potentially be a point in the season where, because of the amount of games you're playing, like we're gonna have a striker down. We need another striker to rotate with the striker that's going to be the main striker. Because if we lose the lap, for example, then you're just relying on João Pedro to play all those games, and you're gonna need to rotate him as well. Like having a third striker wouldn't be a bad option. I mean, Scott, you said no. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, the reason I say no isn't because of him as a player. Like I think people need to understand it is over for Jackson. He is finished at this football club. He is not playing for this football club again.
I think I agree, because this signing of Xavi is heavily reliant on him leaving. So
No,
I think the
It's not
club's
the, it's
best
not the
interest
Xavi
is-
Simons one.
as well.
It's not the Xavi Simons one. It's the Ghana one.
Yeah, I think the thing we need to realize, Marshall, was
That's
that
it's not.
Xavi Simons, at the very least, if we look at Xavi objectively, when we get to Palmer and discuss him, I think Xavi Simons is more so related to Cole Palmer than it is with any other of the things we're going to talk
But like
about.
all the rumors are saying, like Nkunku and Jackson need to leave in order for
Yeah,
Xavi
No.
Simons to come in.
That's transfer related. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the player and why he's coming in. Why is he coming in for? Does that make sense? I don't know how else to explain it.
Well, I mean, yeah, in
Which
terms of
is-
like a backup or even someone that can play along with Palmer.
I actually would. I think it's a bit more than that, but we'll move. But listen, we'll discuss that a little bit later. But like the point, I think the problem with Jackson is that I think the way the season ended for him. I know we both of us have spoken about that before, and then I would also argue. I think I don't like to use this term attitude because I don't think it's right a lot of the time to use this, but I think the way he's actually like, you know, like held himself in regard when these situations happen to him hasn't been great either.
No.
And so,
I mean,
and so I think from a club perspective, you look at that and you're just like, you know, when we brought him competition, he's getting worse. That's the problem.
I mean, if we're gonna take what the outlets are saying is that he feels like he wants to go to a team that he's the main priority. It just, to me, that tells me like, okay, so you don't want to even try to go up against adversity and try to.
For me, that actually makes him look a lot worse. Because,
yeah, I agree.
Because you know why that makes him look worse? Because that means to me that, you know, you Jackson,
you're not willing to fight for your place.
When we gave you the limelight, bro, you didn't shine, and now we're trying to give you a bit of competition. You don't want to face it anymore. Like, so what's the point of being at this club?
Yeah.
And
I agree with that.
And the thing is,
Doesn't
bro,
look good.
the other thing for me with always with like Jackson and everything related to him is that he knows what club he's come to, bro. This ain't Villarreal, buddy. With all due respect, you know what I mean. This is not Aston Villa as well, right? Aston Villa, they can make you the main man. You know why? Because with all due respect to Aston Villa, it's Aston Villa, bro. The best they may get used to every now and then, thingy, but that side as it is currently is always going to be a Europa League and Europa Conference League squad, just like it is at Villarreal. Well, at least it used to be as like at Villarreal. Sorry.
Yeah. Scott, Chris, what do you think about that?
Sorry, what?
Jackson's attitude.
Wow. Hold on, Chris. Great listening, Chris.
I was in the chat a little bit. I was a little bit.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
That was my fault.
Like, no, but Chris,
I think he's
honest.
I honestly think Jackson has had a good attitude. If you're talking about his attitude, I have not really seen.
I don't. Okay. So I know you listen to the show for me to like kind of give you news, but there's a tweet somewhere along the lines saying that like Jackson wants to go to a team where he feels that he is the number one and he's the important one.
I get that.
But to an extent, don't you feel like, you know, if you really believe yourself as a striker, like you would overcome the challenge? Like in the beginning of the window, he came out and said he wants to stay at Chelsea. That's his preference. But now we're hearing that the feeling is mutual. He's willing to leave. He wants to go to a club where he feels like he's the priority and he feels important at the club. And it kind of is like, okay, that's kind of shitty because like now you're trying to tell us as Chelsea fans that you can't really compete with Delap and João Pedro. You don't want to compete.
No, I at your point, I kind of get but I see it from his view, where you can see Chelsea are like just going for these players, these attacking players like 10s, and we just brought 2 strikers. You can see the club is not looking at you no more. You've had
but Chris, about my problem,
and maybe he realizes, and maybe he just realizes like he's not gonna be that guy at Chelsea, and he just realizes he has to look at another club and try prove like what he can do at that club. Maybe he just won't find that at Chelsea no more.
No, but the problem
I wouldn't even say it's the system what affects him.
The problem I have this comment, and I'm also going to add to the TKL's comment, right? So I'm going to start with your comment first. The problem was, we're signing people because he has not performed in the last 2 seasons.
Oh, I agree.
That's what it comes down to. So for me, but that's where the term I'm going to use here, self-reflection, Marshall. There's a lack of self-reflection from the player himself as to why stuff is happening to him. And TKO was also right in the sense that the club basically did thrust him into line on TKO. But what happened was they failed in their duty as a club in bringing in another striker to A, compete with him, and B, maybe someone was a bit more older that could have helped him and been the guy that take him under his wing. That's where the club failed him, and I know Marshall probably would agree with that too.
But wait, you think Chelsea failed Jackson?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Here's the thing, TKL. To respond to this comment, I don't want to. I'm not saying you're confusing what I'm saying, but just to be clear on the situation. I'm not saying it's an attitude issue in the sense of like, oh, Jackson's too aggressive. He gets himself sent off. He racks up cards. It's not that kind of attitude issue. Because at the end of the day, like we got João Pedro, who acclimated a bunch of yellow cards last season for Brighton. He
has
also
a-
has
he has
also has
aggressive,
that. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like that.
Even Delap to an extent has a lot of yellow cards for
I would
Ipswich. So
say, by the way, Joe Pedro's worse than Jackson for that. He does a lot
yeah,
of elbows.
I agree. And even to an extent, like it seems like this is something that the directors don't see, and Maresca to an extent don't seem to really care about, because to an extent, like, listen, Diego Costa had attitude issues, but it was in a time,
and he did it behind VAR, no VAR. Then,
exactly.
but, yeah.
Before VAR, all that stuff. Like this is like a different time, right? Like you kind of want a striker to be that type of like really annoy the defenders, really wind them up, exactly. Which I understand that, but it's more of an attitude issue in the sense of like, to me and probably a lot of Chelsea fans, it looks like, okay, well, we just got João Pedro. We just got Liam Delap. You have been, and even to an extent, like I still think Jackson in this system for Maresca, for what he's looking for, I still think he does suit the system. It's just the finishing is the part that needs to improve, which a lot of Chelsea fans are willing to give up on. Some Chelsea fans are willing to be patient and see if it fleshes out and it improves. But even to an extent, like he still has a use in Maresca's system. It's not like he's deemed useless, right? It's not like Carney, where like Palmer came in and like Carney was now no longer deemed, a means to requirement, because we have players like Palmer who can do more than what Carney can provide and has a different profile that suits Maresca's system. Jackson still suits Maresca's system, but it's the attitude of like, okay, Chelsea, you just got two players that are strikers. I don't want to compete for my position. I want to feel like I'm important. So I'm going to go to another club where there is no competition ahead of me, where I am going to be seen as a starting striker. And that's the type of attitude of like, it's almost like defeatist attitude. Like, brother, you should believe in yourself. You should, and even to an extent, I don't know if you saw some comments that happened. I don't know if they're true or not, but someone said, there was quoted that Jackson said to a fan that like, yeah, if you're going to be a striker, don't be like me. I'm not good. Like stuff like that. Like he almost has this weird, he's wholesome, but to a fault almost, where it's like, he almost doesn't believe in himself, which it's showing if this is true, right? Like if he's willing to go to Aston Villa, if he's willing to go to Newcastle.
They're not bad clubs.
No, it's not a bad club, and it makes sense because Unai Emery's there. It's the guy that coached you. You're familiar with him already. But bro, I almost want him to stay and compete.
Do you think he gets the minutes to really like kind of like? No,
but at least you can compete, Chris.
I kind of see it from like Jackson's view. Like he's been here at the club for 2 years. I wouldn't say like decline, but he definitely got worse. Like in the second season, he even had his AFCON, sorry, and he still scored more goals in that season. And he scored last season 10 goals, I think. So yeah, he definitely got worse. And at the end of the season, he almost cost Chelsea. He did. Like he almost cost Chelsea. He got a red card, and he left us without a striker like to the last like 3 games or whatever it was. Yeah. So.
Which, to be fair,
it wasn't a good
Chelsea
look.
fans are it's not a good look, and a lot of Chelsea fans are holding on to, which I don't think is fair.
His point of view, he sees 2 strikers coming, and he sees like how João Pedro's came in Chelsea. He saw João Pedro help Chelsea win the Club World Cup. Like he came on from the beaches and scored 2 goals in the semi-final where we won. Was it 2-0? 2-0, I think. And then the Club World Cup we won 3-0, and he was involved in the goal that one as well. And even like. Today now as well, you just saw it like João Pedro, he got a goal and assist, right? Like I think he got 2 GA as well. Like,
goal and 2 assists.
And he's honestly like other than the Crystal Palace game, and it wasn't really down to him. He didn't get any chances. He didn't really get involved. He's looked unreal for Chelsea. Like every game, he's been getting goals and assists, and he's been very clinical. Very clinical.
Who's been clinical?
João Pedro's been very clinical for Chelsea right now, and I haven't really seen him miss a lot of chances.
But to be fair,
so
and Ahmed might agree with me with this, like that's the same thing we were seeing from Jackson, which is why I admit I have not been totally invested in João Pedro, because I saw Jackson do the same thing in the beginning of last season.
Yes, no, I agree, but I don't know. maybe you're right, but like I don't see that with my job.
You know what my thing is? At the end of the
just
day,
from the beaches and then just come to the Club World Cup, and that was such
No,
an important
I see
tournament.
where you're coming from.
And he
yeah.
stepped up in the final and that semi-final.
No, I agree.
First,
I agree.
I think
and
TK
That's a
barely
lot
any,
of
like,
pressure.
I think for
time
me,
with Chelsea.
the thing for me, TKO is I think the term "develop" is an interesting term because I think listen at Chelsea, that's something that's not obviously happened. Quite a few younger players, Obviously, you had Madueke left for us, so he's obviously not been able to develop, whether that be because of himself, whether that be because of the club. There's another thing, we've had a few other players I can literally mention at the top of my head, but Woodrick's another one that's not been able to develop. And that's just like two easy ones that I can just, go off like this. I think the thing with Jackson is that I think he needs a certain type of environment. I do wonder though if Aston Villa is that right type of environment for him. That's my take because the reason why I say that is because Aston Villa, they're going to be playing UCL football just like us. They're going to be very under pressure. It's going to have to be played a lot of games on a consistent basis.
Wait,
much like
Aston
it was.
Champions. Oh no, they got sorry, my bad.
So they got Europa League. Apologies, not UCL.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
Thanks for correcting me, Chris. But like the other thing about him is that he may not be playing striker for Aston Villa, So he
won't
could
start
be playing. But he may not start for them, but then
starts ahead of him? Oh, Watkins.
Watkins
If he
probably will
stays.
start ahead of him.
Like you said, they got
you know
nobody,
what probably
like
happened though?
Watkins.
My theory probably is that I think my theory currently is going into this that I think Emery is probably going to try to play how he did against Villarreal on the left hand side.
Yeah, I was going to say like
I don't know.
on the left
I
hand
don't know
side.
if I agree with that, to be honest.
Why wouldn't he? Go ahead. I'm actually interested.
I don't know if he goes to Villa though.
Probably because of Morgan.
Not necessarily that.
but-
They've just signed someone else. Who?
You mean the guy from Nice? So you talk about the guy from Nice?
Yes. Because when he came on in the last game, he came on the wing. So it looks as though they're playing him on the wing. So I think that Jackson would be the backup to Watkins. That's why, because you can't both of them come in and be backups on the wing. Well, maybe you could. They've got Bailey. But outside of that, you've got obviously McGinn plays out on the right. You've got Rogers out there. You got that Gesson guy. You've got Jackson. I think they've got one other that I'm forgetting. They've got Buendia when he's fit.
They also got Daniel Marlon.
Marlon as well. So yeah, I think he's the backup up front.
But then, like, if he's going to be going to Aston Villa as a backup, then what's the point of him going to Aston Villa then?
No, that's still
It's Unai.
It still makes sense for him because that's a place.
The reason why I'm saying that, Scott, before I let you continue, it's only because one of the reasons why he's leaving us is about guaranteed game time.
I don't know, but yeah, but it is. But also, you've got to consider positionally, right? In terms of here, he's behind two players. There, he's behind one. So he's going to get more.
The guy from Nice is technically two.
Not necessarily. If he goes there, I think he's trusted by Unai more than that guy. Especially as I said, if he sees that Gesson guy as a winger more than a striker, I think Jackson is the backup to Watkins anyway, so he's going to get more game time. I think there's a better chance of him developing under Unai just from a sense of there's that familiarity there. And it's also a good landing spot for him in a sense of like pressure and stuff and expectations. And I think this is where the club have done him wrong, because I heard of the whole conversation. I think there's been errors done on both sides, as with a lot of these things. I think the error from the club was the fact that you went into two different seasons with him as basically your only number 9, which puts an immense amount of pressure on a guy who, even though he was 22, is effectively playing from a development standpoint like he's 19 or 20, because he's like 2 years behind most guys at his age because of his lack of coming through an academy. So you put that pressure on him immediately for 2 years, did nothing to alleviate that pressure outside of signing an 18-year-old from Barcelona for the equivalent for this club of a couple of quid. And then you've binned him off because he didn't perform, and I understand, and we have got better. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have done that, but I can see where the annoyance might come from, and I can see where the club has not done him dirty as such, but like not done entirely right by him at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm on the fence with Jackson because on one hand, I do like the amount that's being touted for him, right? I think from a club perspective, I think it's great profit. It's absolutely like if that transfer goes through, it's probably in terms of profit the best sale that Chelsea have made under this new ownership, right? It's up there with Mason Mount and or Havertz, right?
On Mount, I don't think anything's gonna top the Mount one. I'll be real with you.
The Mount one is a good one. It's because it's pure profit.
Oh,
but in terms
Sancho.
of like bringing in a player for 30 million euros and you sell him for potentially anywhere from 60 to 80 million, like that's huge, right? So I get that perspective. But on the other hand as well, I also do prefer to have a Gittins, or not a Gittins, I'm sorry, a Xavi Simons over a Jackson. Like if it means that I have to get rid of Jackson and get Simons, I'll do that. But on another hand, I still stand by what I said earlier, where like if we were to lose, let's say a Delap due to like an ankle injury or something later in the season, I would be worried that we would run down a João Pedro to the ground by the amount of games that we have to play, and having that third striker to be in a rotation would be useful. And I still think like in this system, Jackson can be useful. Like,
No, 100%. Like, I agree with you, Mark. I said, like, that's why I said if the plan is to use this formation or system going forward, we need another striker. The issue I have with the whole striker thing, I said this before, is I don't think it works feasibly unless you're going to rotate heavily like Pep Guardiola to have three strikers at basically the same level competing. Like, that third striker should have been a Hiu or should have been a Giroud equivalent. You see what I mean? Like,
no, I see
so,
what
like,
you're saying. Or in this case, like even Shimoheka,
the only person I would have accepted at that level just because he was here already was Jackson. My thing is, if we go and sign someone, I want us to go and sign someone for like max 15 mil, maybe 20 at a push. So like, number one, if they don't play a lot, they're easy to flip anyway, and also you don't have as much expectation. They just have to be a rotation option. Like, what I don't want us doing is going and signing like, I'm trying to think. I can't even think. We haven't even really been linked with any strikers. Like going and signing like an Aussie man all of a sudden, which I know we can't. He's moved. It was literally the first striker that comes to mind. All of a sudden, he kind of needs to be the starter, and you've got to move the lap out of there. Which, like, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, Surfer, welcome to the stream. Just to bring you into this conversation.
Hello.
We kind of started this off with the whole notion that today Delap kind of played this like what in last season we would have said is like a Jackson role, where like he didn't get GNA, but he was involved in the build up for two of the goals. He had good link up, and that kind of led to the whole Jackson situation where like, okay, are we okay with Jackson leaving? Should he stay? Like, does the transfer of maybe him going to Villa make even sense for him? Like, where do you stand on the Jackson thing?
Yeah, it was like a Jackson performance, but he didn't get the chances, so to speak.
No, he didn't. Yeah,
but I think that's because of other things. It's like my sense is that while the players might like Jackson, it's sort of like the thing with the defenders with Robert Sanchez at the other end. They don't fully trust him, so they don't know like whether they're going to get into the good positions to play alongside him, or like, because Jackson can hold up the ball well, can pass the ball well, but he doesn't make sometimes the right movements in the box, or takes the defenders away, or drops the ball or something like that. So it's one of those where I can see people draw parallels to it, but I think it's more the fact that Delap's going to do a job that benefits other players because they're going to trust him more, and the fact that he's got natural instincts that Jackson just doesn't have in terms of when to make the runs, where to make the runs, how to occupy defenders, when to occupy defenders, like that, to make space, and they'll feel more confident in running. You can just tell. It's about A very good link-up play of Esteban today a few times in both halves. You can just tell there's more trust there in the terms of Delap's in terms of talent and execute in how he executes what he's trying to do. Do you know what I mean? That they'll trust him more to do that. Same with João Pedro as well. That they'll trust him more to do that. And it's a shame because Jackson has some of those fundamentals, but he doesn't have the development time that these guys have. Where it was like they're only a couple of years younger or so, but they show, they're better they're further along in their development. So, and we need to be further along in our development. We can't carry a Jackson as a first or second option anymore. It's just not going to work, in my opinion. So I can understand that people draw parallel to the performances and stuff like that, but I just think in the long haul it's going to be very different, because I think when Delap does get those chances, he'll finish a lot better than Jackson. Like when those chances that go from a 0-0 to a 1-0 to us, that go from 1-0 to a 2-1 to us, or we're losing 1-0 or 2-1, and he gets those that sneaks a point for us or something like that. Whereas like Jackson would hold on to the ball a bit more or fluff it or something like that. It's just one of those.
That is a good point, because that's one aspect of Jackson's game that we've always been critical of, is the finishing, which Delap has. So if Delap can provide what Jackson provides plus the finishing, then yeah, he's a more well-rounded player and he can definitely do a better job in that scenario. But yeah, it was just an interesting conversation to definitely have, just because I do still think. Listen, I understand people's feelings towards Jackson. I've said this over and over again. I'm almost like a broken record now. I understand people's feelings towards Jackson right now in regards to what happened in his last 2 appearances, right? Like getting sent off, or his last 3 appearances, 4. Getting sent off in the Club World Cup the way he did, and then getting sent off again in the Premier League, right? It was just immature, too aggressive, stuff that just can't happen at this level. But when you put that aside, I just don't like this notion that people latch onto that and then they want to completely throw away all the positive aspects of his game, all the good results he's had, and people almost want to just highlight all the negative ones just to reinforce that idea, which I just think it's just stupid. It's stupid. Like, you can't, like, if I did that for Diego Costa, I would have Chelsea fans believe that Diego Costa was one of the most aggressive and horrible players for Chelsea. But in reality, Diego Costa, despite the aggression that he had and all the shithousery that he did, he was a very good player for Chelsea. And it was also a different time. It was before VAR and all that stuff. Like, it's like you got to look at every aspect of the game and not just...
Sorry, Marshall. No, I'm cutting you off here. My apologies. But let me use Delap for example here. Delap, I probably would make the argument, is much more aggressive. Much more aggressive than Jackson. You see the way that he does he will push him off the ball, like in front of the referee, bro. Like, and like he'll get a talking to. So I think for me, whenever we used to talk about aggression, it's about I always say the word I like to use is somewhat controlled aggression. Right? The problem with Jackson was his aggression used to. What would happen was, would get angry, like because something would go his way, and then he would react in a quite crazy way. Marshall, does that make sense? Like that was the Jackson way.
But even with the Jackson thing, like for example, we look at that Newcastle challenge, right?
Yes.
To an extent, like just to give him the benefit of the doubt, I don't agree with what he did. You look at that same foul he committed at Ipswich, and this just goes to the inconsistency of the FA, right? He gets away with that.
Yeah, but the difference, let me give you the difference.
And even Delap, sometimes you can even make that argument.
The problem with that argument is that, bro, he looked where the defender was behind him. He was in 4K Ultra HD. You know, the Ipswich one is different because there's the benefit of that. The player did not look at the other player before he committed to action. That was the problem. Like I would be agreeing with you if Jackson did not look at. I think it was it was the Netherlands.
seen,
it was another
Guy,
centre-back, yeah.
can we? Okay, can I ask something just to bring this to a different, somewhat of a different debate? Like, if Diego Costa played in this era, in VAR era, do you think he would have been sent off as much as Jackson, if not more?
They would definitely would have been.
Costa
Would have been more.
anyway.
Would have been
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, but he would have. That's fine, but he still would have scored a lot more.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Costa gets goals.
Yeah,
anyway.
I agree. I agree with that.
That's the counterbalance.
Yeah, the
That's
discrepancy
Yeah,
in
yeah.
thing is.
Actually, I think he would have scored a lot more than he did.
That's-
Yeah.
I don't know if that means in his time with Chelsea in his career, but if he means career, that's false.
Costa had one and all. I remember he got one. You know when he looked like he bit Barry as well. Like, was it Barry? But he didn't bite him. It looked like
he get sent off with us.
he got sent off against Everton. I swear he got sent off.
No, he got. I'm looking now. He never got a red card on them.
Never got a red.
He
He did
got
the
1, 2. No, he didn't. He got 1,
He
2,
did in
3.
you just
No.
look in Premier League because the FA Cup, right? Do you
Yes,
not remember
Chris,
where
Chris,
he got
Chris,
sent off? Right? Wait, hang
No,
on.
No, he didn't get sent
Never.
off.
Unless I was gonna
He
say
went off.
unless
Wait, hang on. You know what?
unless they haven't. He never got a red card on the pitch. He might have got a what's it called, like a suspension post like the game. A what's it called? I can't think what the word is, like, but it's where they like retroactively.
Yeah. No, it
carded
says
him.
yeah. Diego Costa was sent off for his first time in his Chelsea career after incident between striker Everton Gareth Barry, which prompted a
Did he
bite.
actually get the red card on the pitch?
Yes,
Or it was,
No, he never got sent off on the pitch.
He got. I
because
remember him
I was
going
saying,
off.
I'm
He
looking at
didn't,
I'm looking
Chris.
at
He
the
never
market
got sent off on
now.
the pitch.
He was suspended multiple times for Chelsea. It was always a yellow card suspension or a suspension through, as it says here, sports court, which I assume is a retroactive suspension.
I swear I swear he walked off. That's the thing, and
Nope.
I
Nope.
don't remember the red card itself, but I remember it. Like I swear he walked off, and he looked like he bit Barry, but he didn't bite him. He just did that weird motion where he just, I don't know, gave him a kiss or something.
Jesus Christ, he missed 13 games for us through suspension.
Whoa, 13. That's a lot of games. Also, big up CJ. Haven't spoken to you since Club World Cup. How you doing, brother?
That's 4 games a season.
Yeah, 13.
4 games a
It's
season.
4 games a season. He's only with us for 3.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
referee.
just wanna know,
Wait.
who
Yeah,
is
the referee.
CJ?
Wait,
CJ,
hang on.
someone
There's an image of
I
the
think he's on
referee
mute,
pointing the red
yeah.
card at Diego Costa right here.
He never got sent. He never got sent off on the pitch, Chris.
I have no idea.
No, this is in the picture. I'm looking at it right now.
Chris, he never got
I'm
sent off
kinda
on the pitch in the
confused.
game.
You want me-
He never
do you want me
got
to
sent
send
off
you a
on the
picture
game.
I feel like the market just got it wrong, which they might have done.
Yeah, Michael is. It was Michael Oliver. I can
You
see him.
just said,
Do you want me to send a picture?
wait, Chris, first.
You can go ahead
Maybe
and send a
TJ
picture.
is.
'Cause I am
Casually,
like,
you just sent me the link, bro.
There you go.
Oh,
How you doing, brother?
him. Sorry, I was confused for a second. I was like, damn, like, who is this person? Sorry, I've not
let me see if I
seen
can
that
get
name
video.
before. My apologies, brother.
Video being there.
You good. You good.
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, brother? I
Not
haven't
too bad,
spoken to
bro.
you since Club World Cup. It's been a minute. How you
Yo,
been?
bro, listen, work's been busy. You know, got to be saving lives and shit out here, but
Understood.
we're back.
Damn,
we're
man
back.
said saving lives. Holy shit, man. That's serious. I'm fucking them up. I sell these motherfuckers beer and shit. So yeah, I've been fucking these lives up.
Hey,
But
so you're killing people, man. You're killing people slowly, Marshall.
slowly but surely, yeah. It's a fucked up way of looking at it. But CJ, my man, I mean, we were just talking about this whole striker situation with the lap today, João Pedro's performance. Obviously, actually, just to move it on to João Pedro, he had a great performance today. Your thoughts on João Pedro?
You know, Joao Pedro is just, the guy is just special. You know what I mean? I think he just makes the game look very easy. And if you have him play as a 9, he's going to do his thing. You have him play as a 10, he will do his thing. I was not expecting that 2-striker formation today, you know, with Pedro probably playing a bit more deeper, but we all know that's a role he can play. So the guy is just quality. 1 goal, 2 assists. Can't really ask for more, to be honest.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, listen, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. João Pedro is looking, because part of the reason I don't want to get too ahead of myself is because I know the João Pedro I saw at Brighton. And I'm willing to accept the fact that potentially the João Pedro at Brighton was a little bit misprofiled by De Zerbi, by oh my God, what's the name of the Scott, help me out here. What's the name of the current manager? Yeah, I'm willing to accept that he might have been misprofiled in the last 2 seasons by these 2 managers, but listen, it's easy to see that like right now he's clicking with Chelsea and he's doing really well, but you know, Jackson last season was also kicking off like this, so I don't want to really get too ahead of myself when it comes to João Pedro. But listen, if he does well and if he fits well for us, and I will hold my hands up and be like, yo, this guy's a great player. But I just don't, you know, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, which has happened before. I mean, I don't know if you are in the same boat as me as that.
See, I think like the Pedro Jackson, you could just tell one is more of just a pure finisher than the other one, in which Pedro is. You know, so I think for him,
Pedro's got the heading ability at least.
Yeah, and he just has everything else on lock. Like I think Pedro is exactly what you get from Jackson, with just better finishing. But then there's more, you know, there's also more to his game than Jackson. So I know there's going to be times when, you know, he probably wouldn't be on the score sheet as often, but does he still impact the game in different ways, right? Like even from set pieces, there's guys like defending, you know, both in both boxes, like from set pieces, he's definitely impacting the game. So I think we lucked out, considering like just looking at the market and how much certain players are going for. That's and true. You get him for like what, 55, 60 mil. Yeah, bro, he's just quality, man. For me though, it was weird because even when they both started today, I was thinking, damn, we ain't got no strikers on the bench to bring off. You know, so that might be something that might concern me slightly. But then, how often are these guys going to play together? That might be another question. But quality player, man.
I mean, CJ does bring up a good point there. Like, how often do you guys think we're gonna see 2 strikers in one game?
I don't know. It's like we talked about earlier. I think it depends on
the opposition.
Ultimately, I think it depends on A, the opposition, but B, it depends on what ends up being our best lineup, right? Like, ultimately, we can say, oh, it's only for this opposition, but if like 7 out of 10 games we look better with 2 strikers with Delap and Pedro up there, then it just makes sense for you to play both at the same time, which means that someone has to hold bench, which is most likely Gittins or Esteval, at least to begin with. And then we go back to the conversation that we had earlier. It necessitates having another striker on the bench, because you can't be playing for most of the season. And I say this again off of the assumption that both of them play because that's our best formation or best team. You can't have both of them playing at the same time and have no one on the bench. So I think right now it's way too early to tell because it's 2 games in. But I think, you know, by like
also West Ham
10 games in, we'll be able to judge. Like, depending on how João Pedro plays between now and, you know, 10 games in, if he goes back to playing striker and it kind of looks the same as it did in the first game in terms of he looks a little bit isolated, and obviously we're going to play different level of opposition and different type of defenses. But if it's looking like he's a little bit isolated, he can't get as much on the ball. When he does, there's not enough runners off him to make stuff happen, then it might be a case where both of them need to play every game. But that's something we're just going to have to judge and wait and see, like, with time.
I don't want to neglect this player because I feel like we do kind of make the mistake. Well, I don't think we're to make a mistake, but like, I feel like we have this tendency to kind of ignore it. But like, Chris, I'm going to ask you, Pedro Neto, man, I think today he had another solid performance. Like another solid performance.
He's been looking really good, especially from the Club World Cup. Like,
I'll let the panel take it away. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, like he's been looking really good for me. Like since the Club World Cup, he's been one of our like better players. And today, for me, he was definitely our top 3 players today. Like his crossing, he probably could have got more than one. He got 1 assist there, I think, if I'm correct. I think he got 1 assist or maybe just 1 goal. Actually, never mind. He just got 1 goal, but like I felt like he could have got assist a few of his crosses he made in today, like the runs, the tracking back, and like he did a fair few crosses today, and I felt like he's one of our better players today. That's what I thought with him. But yeah, like he's been quite consistent, and this is where I just don't think he'd be replaced for a while anyway. Like they say, like I don't know who he's on about before, but like saying like Neto be replaced by Esteval or something. I think Esteval's quite young. It'd be a couple of years before we see like maybe Neto getting dropped at this club right now. And this season, I feel like it's gonna be his best season we might see. We've seen Neto do, like even in the Premier League maybe. But yeah, like I think he's done pretty good today as well. Probably a top 3 today, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is the Neto we all expected when he first signed. I think the difference you're seeing from Neto now and basically have been since the Club World Cup is like night and day compared to what we were seeing last season, especially like at the start of the season. And he is currently, in terms of on form, like top 3 players on the team sheet. Like it's him, João Pedro, and probably Caicedo are written in
from the
pencil.
Club World Cup, you're about, yeah.
No, I'm just talking like if you had to pick a team tomorrow, Chris, in terms of the Chelsea team, I'm saying not João Pedro. Pedro Neto is in the top 3 players that is going on that team sheet first.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
João Pedro and Caicedo, and then probably I'd say Reece. If you want to say 4, it's Reece in there as well.
I've never seen him really score this because last season he scored like 5 goals last season.
He scored, if you count the Club World Cup, he scored 6.
Oh right.
7.
Yeah, I can see him score like 10 or more maybe this season.
But yeah, he has been.
I've not seen this from like him ever.
Well, hold on, Chris. Like, do you also think that part of the reason is because we're actually finding him more? Because I also feel like this guy could have more goals than what he has right now if he just got the pass.
I still think his best part of him is like his crossing ability. I think his crosses are really good.
His crossing is brilliant, to be honest.
He did a few.
I'll mention this, Chris. I don't know if you agree with me. This is important to you. I think Neto's crossing ability on that right-hand side makes it so that we don't need Reece to be that overlapping right back, because I remember Reece's crossing ability is a big part of why we wanted Reece to be on that right back, because Neto can do that on that right-handed side. Is probably why we don't need him as much.
I was gonna say, I feel like we can still do him on the left, and if we do put Palmer on the right, Palmer's got a good cross on him too from the right side. So
that's true too. Yeah.
Not like Scott said. He's been really good since the Club World Cup. To me, he's been our top 3 player. Like, and there's a lot of good players in this Chelsea team right now. Like I could say, obviously, like Caicedo's obviously top 3, Cucurella as well. Even Enzo Fernandez has been quite good for Chelsea. Even right now, João Pedro is doing really well for Chelsea. We have a lot of good players in this team. Not saying like world class players, but like a lot of good players in right now. And Neto is stepping up for us. So I don't see this guy getting like replaced for like at least a few years anyway, at least, because he looks like he's going to get into like the form of his life right now for Chelsea. So
he's been playing so
that's why I feel like Esteval's quite lucky, like experienced players like this, where we'd have to rely on a young player like Esteval.
Yeah, and also like I got to give kudos. This is a brilliant cross from João Pedro to literally. Like, I think in this instance, João Pedro already knew that Neto is going to be on that side. Kind of like how Reece already knew Cucurella was going to come in on that far post for Manchester United. I think João Pedro, and to be fair, like it's there. Like we've seen it multiple times where João Pedro, not João Pedro. I'm doing the same thing that Scott did. Neto. We already know Neto's always on that far post, and João Pedro kind of already knew. So you see the cross come in, and it's laid so perfectly for Pedro Neto. Like I'm actually really happy to see Neto have this form that he's currently in, because even if he's not scoring, it's hard to dispossess him.
That's actually a really good finish, first time volley.
It's a brilliant finish. It's a brilliant
what's
finish.
Obviously, it's open, sorry, there's an open chance, but yeah, great finish.
I was gonna say, like, I think either during the Club World Cup or before that, I was like, yo, get Neto and Noni out of here. Like, I was so adamant, right?
A lot of people, not just you, CJ. Yeah.
But he's just gone levels, and that's all you can ask for, someone you feel isn't really showing you the qualities or like I guess like the output you feel he can really do. Because we
Mhm.
all watch Neto at Wolves, bro, and he used to terrorize every single big team.
Us
You know what I mean?
especially.
So
Like
exactly.
the running behinds and all that stuff they used to do against us was
So,
so
so for
frustrating.
me, I was like, yo, get this guy out of here. But I can only hold my hands up and go, you know what, dog? Fair play.
Bro.
You've been on it. You have been on it. He's been consistent. And I think one of the things I have realized in this game as well, like it's just the more confidence and being very direct. Like
Yeah.
I used to feel Neto maybe could run at someone, but then he would either just pass it back or potentially just misstep. But now he's just looking like I'm going in for the kill, and that that's all I can ask from my wingers at this point.
Yeah.
I agree with
I
that.
agree.
I also think I disagree with something you said, Marshall. I don't think it's a case of finding in the ball more because I think we did that plenty of times last year. He just, like CJ said, he wasn't decisive enough. His decision making more often than not was poor. He wasn't doing stuff he used to do at Wolves in terms of being direct, getting at players 1v1, beating them more often than not. Like, there is a reason that I said, and people can argue till the cows go home, but until the Club World Cup was true, Noni was our best winger last season. That's how
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. I'll disagree
And
with
that's
you.
not me saying he was good. That's me saying that the quality of our wingers last season was just bad. Was just bad. And Neto was part of that. But the level up that we have seen from him since the Club World Cup has been immense. Like, it's been immense. And yeah, and the fact that he's shown it on both sides as well, because there was that whole stupid argument, and it was stupid at the time, and it still remains to be stupid now, that he can only play on the left or he can only play on the right, and he has to play in his best position. Bollocks. He did it at Wolves,
Bro,
playing on both
He
sides.
plays on both ends, yeah.
Yeah, he did it at Wolves, playing on both sides, and he's now doing it at Chelsea, playing on both sides because he can play on both sides. Did the same for Portugal as well. It just took some time, and he had to show his quality, and he's now showing his quality. And like,
Yeah.
may it continue.
I was gonna say, even like that Crystal Palace game, he was definitely our best forward that game as well. I thought as well, like the crossing he was doing, I felt like he could have got assist in that game as well. But I just think he's been very consistently like quite good for Chelsea. Like like you said, the World Cup, Club World Cup, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
yeah. No,
I'm very
You can
pleased
call
with
it the
him.
World Cup. You can call
I
it the
mean,
World
it's the World Cup for clubs, so.
Abed, I mean, do you have any thoughts on João Pedro's recent performance and recent form? The fact that he also did it from an angle too, I just realized. I just saw it from this angle. Like
First time.
he wasn't in front of the net. He was like on the side.
You
of the net.
know, I just think when it
Sorry,
comes to
no,
João
it's
Pedro, I'm looking forward
Not
to
João Pedro. I'm sorry, Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto.
This is gonna be
I
a problem
think,
this
listen,
season. Yeah.
it's a bit weird because I didn't expect him to embed in. That it's gonna take him a season to embed into the team because the way we play and the stuff like that, I thought it would probably be a little bit more streaming for him. Maybe it's because I may have overrated the player a little bit on my side or something of the sort. But he's finally kind of bedded into the team. He understands the way we play, and as such, it's been a lot more effective. I just think for me, I know that Scott is saying it's a silly argument, but I just have to say that whenever he plays on the left wing, I just think the options that he has to do is a lot more reduced. I'd probably say that's my main argument as to why whenever he plays on the left, it's a bit more easier for him. If that makes sense. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Like either he cuts inside, either he crosses the ball, or he has to like essentially becomes like the runner, or to the back post. Which is why I think maybe the simplification of his game has kind of been a bit more effective for him on that side of the pitch.
You know what I think actually helps him on the left hand side, and honestly on both sides, the physicality which TKL brings up here, bro. I'm actually really surprised because I never listen. I don't watch Wolves, right? And I never really saw it at Wolves when I did watch him. But like, pardon me, I feel like since he's come to Chelsea, the physicality has improved, especially for his size. He's not the biggest winger. He's not the most robust winger. But like the fact that in this game, just in this game as well, like. He's up against Wan-Bissaka. He's up against other Todibo and other defenders for West Ham, right? And he's actually standing his zone against defenders who are bigger than him. And he's actually like putting in a physical workshop. Like that's why the thing that impresses me the most is the fact that he's not losing the ball. Like, he maintains possession very well, and he uses his physicality really well, despite not being like at an advantage physically from a genetic standpoint. Like the fact that he's a genuinely tiny, smaller person in a team. He's he's probably like 5'8", 5'9". Like, he's probably one of the smaller people on a team, but still he's strong enough that he can hold up the ball and hold up the play. And I think when you're on that left hand side, which isn't your best hand, your best side, it gives you time. It gives you time to think. It gives you time to set up a cross. It gives you time to set up a pass. It's impressive. He's using every aspect of his game to his advantage, which there's a lot of wingers that don't actually take advantage of that, and that's been really impressive to me. I don't know if you guys have noticed it too, but like I like it a lot. I really like it a lot. I think Neto is starting to slowly but surely earn his spot in this team and earn his spot as a mainstay at Chelsea. Like, I don't think he's gonna leave anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys agree? Cool. I have a good take from time.
Yeah,
to
I
time.
mean, what else?
No, I have a good take from time to time. That's great. Another player I wanted to bring up. Okay, so in contrast, right? First game of the season, Enzo Fernandez. Not a great performance. How do we feel about him today?
Shit. Like,
Oh.
maybe
You thought he
shit's
was
a bit
shit?
harsh, but like, maybe shit's a bit harsh, but it was the worst player on the pitch for me from a Chelsea point of view. Like, he got the goal, which is nice, but that so many of our issues in the first half, in terms of when West Ham were putting pressure on us, came from him. Like, vacating midfield, offering no help. Like, Caicedo for the first 20 minutes was basically our midfield by himself. Was in our entire midfield.
That's true.
What I saw from Enzo today in the first half, especially second half, he was a lot better. I think, like, once it got to a point where, like, obviously we'd killed West Ham and they just weren't coming back into the game, he obviously got a lot better. But that first, like, 20, 25 minutes, it reminded me in parts of Gallagher without the pressing, in terms of you're really doing nothing outside of just box crashing. Like, all you're doing is box crashing. You're not helping the play build up. You're not, like, offering yourself as an outlet. You're not trying to do 1-2s. You're just box crashing.
Hey, hang on.
And that's all you're doing.
You didn't
And
see the
eventually,
1-2
and
Simon Caicedo
ironically
did?
enough, no,
Say that
like,
again,
he
Chris?
just wasn't offering
I said, hang
anything.
on. You didn't see the 1-2 Simon Caicedo made? You don't remember? No, wait. Do you not
like
remember when they
the
was
only
taking
thing,
the
and
piss,
again,
man.
this is more like
It is
first
funny.
half and whatnot, but like, yeah, it's ironic as well. He got his goal from box crashing, but yeah, that's just all he was doing, and it's like, I understand he's added that to his game, and I'm glad he's added that to his game, and I don't want to take that away, but I also don't want him to lose the other stuff that he's so good at, like the ability to dictate play, like the ability to link up, like the ability to drop deep and control games, and find that pass. Like, there was a couple of times he had the opportunity to find that pass in the first half and just fuck the pass up, and it's unfortunate because we know what Enzo can do. We know the level he can reach after seeing it last season. And I think he started to, as I said, get a lot better in the second half. Again, once West Ham were just dead. Like, they are a shockingly bad team, by the way. But that first half, yeah, was tough from him. Like, honestly, after that first half, like him and Sanchez, they were the only two people really, like, it was a like, they were the only two, like, negatives on a really, really good performance in that first half, again, outside of the 15 minutes in the thing. But yeah, I just wasn't impressed with Enzo today.
Do you agree with this, Dark? Do you agree with Dark's comment here?
Enzo.
Not becoming. I don't think he's becoming one-dimensional. I just think he was one-dimensional in this game. Like, I don't think this is a trend I've seen. At least I don't think so. It's just something I noticed in this game of, like, him just doing nothing outside of box crashing, which was weird because I've never seen Enzo just. I've never seen. I don't remember if I've ever seen him have a game like this where, yeah, he first off, he didn't do anything. The times he got on the ball, his passing was meh. Like, I remember one instance where he gets the ball in the left hand side.
Did he really?
A couple players are making a run, and there was a couple of them, like the one up there.
I just
it was
don't think he did anything like amazing,
passing,
like passing range. He didn't do as long range.
He didn't do anything amazing, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like I always saw the idea, but it just never kicked off. And I also feel like,
Yeah, but-
and this is my opinion, and I don't know if you guys agree. I feel like that left-sided 10 role that he's being put in is not. I'm not a fan of it. I'll just be honest.
Doesn't get him
Like,
involved in the game enough.
it doesn't get him involved in the game enough.
Just there crashing it and just not getting.
Like it was the
No,
same
but I
position he was
disagree. I
in
think
the
it-
final for the Club World Cup.
Yeah, actually,
but
yeah,
I
it was too.
But that's what I was going to say. Like, I disagree in a sense of like him not working in that 10, because we've seen plenty of games where it does work in that 10. Because he has games where he's able to be like an all-action midfielder, obviously defending, but I don't even think that was a massive issue in this game, really.
But do you feel like that was compensating for the lack of like a striker, like a João Pedro and a Delap?
No, because like if anything, it should be the other way around. I feel like he should be doing more attacking and be more one-dimensional, more box crashing when we don't have a striker, and more of the all-rounded midfielder when we do have a striker. Especially we have two on the pitch, so you don't need to be
Yeah.
that just pure box crasher where you don't really do anything else. Because you've got the two strikers, you've got the better attacking players theoretically, or the attacking players more in form, so you don't need to do that as much. So I think it's just weird because, like I said, it's not. I can't
It is
remember
weird.
seeing him play like this in that position before, where he doesn't do anything but box crash. It was just weird. Like it was just weird to me because he played there so many times, and for what was it last season, 6 months, 7 months, looked great in that position. It's just a weird one.
I mean, I would say I would kind of agree with Scott. I felt like I wouldn't say would you say he's our worst player or second worst or something today?
Yeah, for me, he was our worst player. To be
Not
fair,
like-
that's not
I-
saying much. When we
I
win
would-
5-1,
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
I
he was
still
bad.
think
I
Tosin
would
was
say
probably
he
our
was,
worst one, but he's
I would
second
say
worst.
Sanchez
Nah,
because that complete
nah.
bozo. Like
Oh,
I
I mean
don't think Tosin
Sanchez
was that
too.
bad.
like that goal he conceded.
Yeah, I'll be real.
obviously,
Like, it was
I
Enzo
wasn't worried.
Sanchez, and then
Yeah.
take it.
See, with this
Sanchez is
Enzo
Sanchez,
performance,
I
though, like even when he dropped a bit deeper for me, I thought that's when he looked slightly better. I thought him
Yeah,
getting
that's
more
what I'm saying.
involved in build up was a lot more better because I just think whatever he was doing in like that first 20, 30 minutes, it just really wasn't working. But like once he dropped a bit deeper, started, getting some decent touches, then it kind of just got a bit more fluid. And by that time, West Ham, like they already carved open. It just kind of just rolled with it. You know what I mean? It wasn't a completely shit game from him. It wasn't great either. It was just somewhere in the middle. It's just like an average performance, I guess. But
yeah,
he
I
got his
disagree
goal,
with that.
and
I
we
think-
take it and we move.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think it's hard for anyone to truly be shit considering we won 5-1. Like,
Yeah,
someone
just like
tried.
the worst of a good bunch.
Someone tried their best, but even he didn't manage to be completely shit, despite everything.
Yeah,
Because like I said, it's hard to be that shit. Like when you're winning 5-1. But yeah, like I said, I think I agree with CJ. I think once he got involved with the play more, when he dropped a bit deeper, he was a lot better because you get to see the stuff that Enzo is fantastic at. Like that, the stuff that he does is the reason we signed him. We didn't sign him to do this box crashing shit. He learned this being here. What we
Yeah,
signed him
he had to
for is
adapt.
based on everything else he brought to the game.
well, I mean, that's a good point you bring up, Scott, because like I hope now that we actually have proper strikers and proper like goal scorers, maybe Enzo Maresca can rely on him to be more of that deep playmaker role that we saw when Enzo Fernandez was under Potter, right? Which some people will argue that was the best role for him. It's up for debate whether you believe the last season Enzo was better than the first season Enzo, but it was still a good role regardless. Like you want the passing ability, and even today, like you saw, there was like times where he tried to pass it and it just didn't play off, and there was times where he would dispossess the opponent. Like obviously, you don't want to rely on him to dispossess, like do the Gallagher role, because Sometimes he does get turned over. Defensively, he's not the best. We know that. But even today, like, I agree with you. It's not the best scenario to say, like, when we say he was the worst player, it doesn't necessarily mean that he was shit. It was just like, we had a good game. Yeah, he was just not a standout, really. But like, it could be a situation, and if it is that situation, I don't mind it. Where like, if it does end up being that like now his role changes, where he's going to be more of a deep lying playmaker, I think that's a good role for him. And now we don't have to rely on him to pickpocket goals, kind of like how we had to rely on Cucurella last season to kind of like sneak in some goals here and there. You know, like if I can just rely on Cucurella and or Enzo, more so Cucurella, to just be defensive and and Enzo to be just more playmaker, that's cool, because then I have a João Pedro or a Neto or a Esteval or a Palmer that can give me the goals and be the creative outlet at the top of the pitch. You know, like I don't mind that role for either or. Like I think it's kind of a win-win, really.
I think if you add like a Xavi Simmons to this team, then even more reason you don't really kind of need Enzo kind of in those areas. He can focus more on build-up, you know what I mean? Just giving Caicedo that extra body midfield to just combine with, you know, and just get the ball forward quicker. Because, like, we keep, you know, like even in the Palace game, we talked about this whole, we really lacked that progression from defense into midfield. Okay, Enzo, now that could be you. You can link that midfield to, you know, to that attack really quickly. Play deeper, get the ball off of, you know, your defenders and just kickstart attacks. Just let Palmer, Pedro, whoever else plays in that role to just, you know, do their thing. You can still box crush at the end of the day, but just know your first row and then you could play your secondary role. But I also think like, it's 2 games in. A lot of these guys might still be kind of not as match sharp. You know, they only got like 3 weeks off. So it might take maybe like the first 3, 4, 5 games for like all our guys to just be on it, you know. But if Enzo is not playing to his best ability and we're still picking up, you know, dubs and points on the board, then yeah, it's scary times when he does, you know.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point from CJ. Like, if this isn't Enzo, because I know last season Enzo took a little bit to warm up to the season, right? Like he had a slow start to the season. It could be a case where this is the same thing, right? Like it's a slow start to the season. But also like, I feel like last season we heavily relied on him to an extent at certain points of the season to get us out of a pinch, right? Like I don't want to have to go through that again. Like that's my opinion. I don't want to have to go through that again. Like I want to rely on our attackers to get us goals. Like I don't want to rely on Cucurella again. I don't want to rely on Enzo again to get us out of a bench, you know? So like to an extent, I don't mind that if we're winning 5-1, right? Like today, I don't mind if Enzo has an average performance, you know, as long as we still win. Like he serves a purpose in this game. Like he wasn't shit. Like he did have some interceptions in this game. He did have, well, not interceptions actually. I don't even think he had interceptions, but he did had some
simple passes and then he crashed
simple passes, some tackles. He attempted some through balls, some threaded passes. Like I want that from Enzo. Like because sometimes like that is needed, and sometimes it does pull off, and he does well for us.
He did get kind of a killer goal as well, like the third goal where it just felt like
the third goal kind of sealed the game for us, right? Because like we almost drew, and that third goal, we almost drew because of the offside, right? But like,
oh yeah, I mean that would have been interesting, but
that offside goal,
that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Prime, I want to get you involved in the conversation. Obviously, what was your thoughts on Enzo Fernandez's performances today? Prime? I don't know if you can hear me.
No, I heard.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
All right, cool. Did he lose most of his dual sacks? I don't even know. I haven't kept track. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's funny that you guys are talking about Enzo and he should go back to being basically a tempo controller, which is what I've been talking about him doing last season. Well, yeah. I don't know if because last week I said he didn't look like completely match fit, and today I don't know. It's a weird way to judge it because West Ham are just so bad. So, like, even though he wasn't necessarily at his best, like, he didn't have to be. If you know what I mean? Like, West Ham were just so bad. It's very weird. Like, it's hard to really like judge, like Enzo really. But in terms of if we have now enough like attackers and stuff who can be getting goals, he doesn't have to be getting forward. What he should be doing, and I don't know if that's now down to Enzo or down to Maresca, he now has to be the guy to sit with Caicedo in the double pivot and actually control our tempo, because we still don't really have a tempo control. And particularly with Cole being now out as well, need someone in our midfield that's just gonna like keep the game ticking. Because if we're gonna have most of the possession in most of the games that we play, and most of the teams we face are just gonna be sitting back, we need someone that's just gonna keep the ball flowing from a deeper role.
You don't think Enzo's that profile?
He is that guy, and that's
No,
what I said he should have done last season. But Maresca wanted him to be a box crasher, and now he's so box crasher coded that it's gonna take him a while to switch back into just being a tempo control.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just readapting to what he used to be.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that.
But I think I'll be fine. Like again, we're 2 games into the season. Like people have to remember, Enzo also started slow last season as well.
Yeah.
He also started slowly under Pochettino. So maybe that's just what Enzo is. Like he starts the season a little bit slow, then he picks up. Once he picks up like match fitness and match sharpness and everything. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be necessarily too worried. Like,
Yeah, has your opinion on Enzo changed? Because I know you were very critical of Enzo in the beginning of the season last season.
No, I've always rated him as a footballer. I didn't like the fact that I didn't think he could ever make it in the league. What do you mean, huh? I've always rated him
you were willing to sell him early in the season last season.
Yeah, why I was willing to sell him, because I was going to get onto, I didn't think he could ever like play in the league physically. But in terms of being a footballer, I've never disrespected him as a footballer. You can go back. I've never disrespected him.
No, I believe that. I think I remember like you rated as a
But I also said last
I trust
season,
Chris's intuition on this one.
I said like midway last season,
You did say he'd get rid of him.
I started actually respecting Enzo because he was doing, particularly towards the back end of last season, his off the ball work was phenomenal. That's why in our
I feel like that's the part of his game a lot of people don't rate.
That's why the end of season review. Remember when you said top 3 performances of the season, and I was the one who put down Enzo for the Club World Cup final.
You did
because of how he dealt with Vitinha.
It's 100% true.
Bro,
You did do that.
I absolutely give credit to Enzo how he has worked off the ball and his physicality to be able to match and deal with for him. Because with the type of player that he is, it's not easy to be able to switch like that. So yeah, I'm not gonna. I get with this fan base, people are gonna be overreactionary. I'll give it like 10 games. Like I think he'll be fine and he will get up to speed quickly in terms of. But if not, then just put in Santos. But maybe Santos himself, like Maresca said it during the Club World Cup, Santos isn't necessarily up to speed in terms of how we play. So that's why Enzo's playing.
You or anyone on the panel, did you guys think that Santos had a better performance than Enzo when he came on? Because Santos had 30 minutes today.
Not necessarily, because I think when Santos came on, like, you look at the state of the game, what we were trying to do, like, in terms of.
He came on, we winning 5-1, right?
Yeah, that is.
And we were shutting up shop a bit. He didn't really have too much to do. I also do think the thing
is Sugo getting sold soon, right? He's not playing, right? Like, is that the?
He's not playing.
Is Sugo's getting sold soon because he's not come on yet?
I don't know where he's going.
No, I'm just being sarcastic because people were saying, "Oh, Santos not coming on. Oh, he's getting sold."
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but again, I don't like people just being like weird and reactionary for no reason. Like, because I was someone who said this time last year that like Santos is gonna take Enzo's spot. But Santos hasn't, like, Enzo's one, he's done enough to be the starter in this team. And 2, Santos needs to prove that he can dispel Enzo Fernandez.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
and
coming back to
it's not
Enzo,
easy.
like,
Like,
what did-
yeah,
not
Enzo.
not Enzo. I'm sorry, Santos. What do we
Santos.
think of his performance today? Santos.
I don't know. Like again, he came on when the game was done.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's like, it's not like he was like bad or anything, but it was kind of
No,
like
he
meh,
wasn't.
because he didn't have to, like, again, like kind of with Santos, Enzo a bit. He didn't have to really like do anything. So
Mhm.
like basically, I'd give you an NA rating, non-applicable, because
I think he just came in to get minutes, to be honest. Like, he didn't do
Yeah.
anything that stood out, didn't do anything that didn't stand out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
What
It's
minute
just
did he come on, by the way? Was it
We're
late or?
just there.
70 minutes, 66
yeah.
minutes, something around that
Yeah,
time.
like,
I think he
And
was
the
just an
game was
extra
just wasn't
body in
noticeable.
midfield.
the game was the same thing with like when like Fofana came on as well and stuff. Like Fofana just came on just to get minutes in his legs.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have
I'm
to
actually
do
happy
anything
you
to
brought
get
that up,
goals.
Prime, because I was going to ask you guys next, like, what do we think of Fofana's cameo today?
I don't know.
Hey,
I
it
don't
looked, our
have anything
defense
to
looked a
judge
bit
it,
more
really.
shaky
He
when
looked a
came
little
on.
shaky. Yeah, I was going to say, Chris, thank you.
But,
Thank you. Yeah,
like
he looked a
I
little
said, like
shaky.
he just came from a surgery and a big injury.
Who has
And,
not played
yeah, minutes.
football in however many months. I expect that. He looked a
Yeah.
bit shaky. But in terms of, he didn't have to actually deal with anything from West Ham. So I don't really know how to judge it. I just look at it as you got minutes in your legs, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Just look at it as a positive. in
Scott,
that
do you
aspect.
agree?
Scott agrees. Yes.
Sorry, I was not paying attention. I was watching. I
The-
was watching. I was watching Matisse's head loss at the first goal. Carry on.
Oh really?
Yeah, he did lose his head apparently. No, I was just
Oh,
asking, like, if you.
Oh, have we
What's
moved
up?
past that? Can I speak on it?
Yeah. I mean, let me get Scott's opinion first on Wesley Fofana's
The
appearance
important steps we had
cameo,
to make.
and then let me know your thoughts on Sanchez because I know you have your.
I mean,
Sanchez
he was okay. Like he didn't really do anything wrong outside that stupid challenge at the end. Like for
Yeah, I saw
quite
the
literally
free
no
kick,
reason.
Wait, what did you
Yeah.
do?
He had a
the
free
free
kick. He
kick.
gave
I
up.
wasn't paying attention
It
last
gave
time.
away a free kick when you've got the best free kick taker in the entire league on the
Oh,
other
that
team.
free kick, yeah.
Oh, they have Kyle Ward-Prowse.
James
That
Ward-Prowse.
shows how
Yeah,
much
yeah,
was
it wasn't. It hit the
Yeah,
ball, didn't it?
yeah.
But like outside of that, he wasn't really bad, but he also didn't do anything spectacular. I do think changing 3 out of the 4 back line at the same time was a choice. That was certainly a choice.
Again, when you're
Yeah, like, he
5-1
didn't really do anything wrong. Didn't really do anything spectacular. Him getting
I don't think that's a bad thing
some
when we're
minutes.
5-1. Hello?
Did you hear the last bit, or did I lag out?
You probably lagged out.
No,
so
sorry. I was speaking while you were speaking. Sorry, repeat that again.
I was saying, like, he didn't really do anything bad. Didn't really do anything good. He was kind of just there. Nice to see him get minutes.
Was it nice to see him get minutes? Because I feel like a lot of fans are like.
I mean,
over
also,
this guy.
I'm so
over who?
different to him at the moment because he needs to show me he can stay fit. But him getting minutes is
Yeah.
good because obviously the more minutes he gets, hopefully the fact he can like show he can stay fit. But it's just hard to like care about him at the moment in a sense of like actually being a contributor to this team because
Mhm.
this is his first game in like 8 months.
Mhm.
So
It's really
Also,
been
it's
that long.
weird that Chelsea fans want to get onto Fofana now because a year ago, you can't get onto him even though he's injury prone. But now people want to get onto him,
I think it's the injury prone stuff. They had enough, and
and he was
And,
injury prone a
um,
year ago.
you know,
I think the
because
comments he had
the
last year didn't help his case either.
The
to be
surgery,
honest.
he could have had surgery, and he like said no, I'm going to carry on, and then he gets injured, like 'cause he didn't listen to the advice, and
Yeah.
they got annoyed.
I think
but
that definitely doesn't help his case.
I wouldn't throw him out quite yet because I know he's a talented centre back, and if he's fully, say if
I
the
agree.
surgery actually helps him a lot, like him and Cole will be really good together because we saw it at the start of the season, it was good.
Yeah, they were the ideal partnership in the start of the season.
But if he gets injured again badly, then Chelsea will probably look to try sell him, and that'd be like more than understandable.
I'd still sell him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Speaking on players I'd sell.
Mm.
Time Marshall.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Chalobah sloppy gives the ball away, or it's a bad pass. Sorry to Esteval. They win it, and Paqueta shooting from
Esteval
there.
also makes a bad pass. Let's be honest.
Who?
Estevao also does a flick.
Was it really Chalobah's fault? I'm trying to remember it.
Yes, but it's a bad pass from Chalobah into Estevao.
But Estevao tries to flick it off, dude. Like he does a heel
I know.
flick.
No, I know he tries to.
Okay, I just want to make sure you
I know-
add
I
that
know-
too,
no, I
because
do-
like,
I know he
we
tries
don't
to
want
flick it off.
to
He's not-
relieve Estevao.
Estevao is trying to play
accountability.
the 1-2 to. It looks like João Pedro, or maybe
He's trying to
it's
nutmeg the
Gusto.
player.
Either way, it's a bad flick, but it's still also
Yeah.
a bad ball from Chalobah. So whatever, they win it. Paqueta is just allowed to just like pick up the ball and kind of like drive forward. No one closing him down, which I think is poor. Like Gusto backs off. Caicedo is late to close down, and the shot there from Paqueta, like whatever, man. Cool. What do you guys think on the goal? Do you guys? What do
It's
you guys think on the
Sanchez's
goal?
fault.
I actually don't
it's
like-
it's a whole team fault,
Yeah.
but Sanchez is also accountable. Like Sanchez should have saved that.
Okay. Thanks.
Because if you use your left hand, you probably reach the ball. You redirect. Best case scenario, if you use your left hand, you redirect it enough that it maybe goes wide or over the bar. But because he tries to use his right hand, he doesn't reach the ball, and it's a goal. But
There
at
was
the
some
same
swerve
time,
on that shot though. Like the ball moved as well. So
it
No,
does.
no,
but
no,
CJ,
no, I know.
obviously
I mean,
you
the
got to
ball
use
was
your
all
left
there.
hand on
I'll be
that.
wrong.
It's on your left hand side.
not
if
a
anything,
swerve.
I think he
not a
parries it into the goal. Because
Maybe.
it wasn't just it wasn't just like a finesse shot, bro. Like
Can I ask you
he
something, CJ,
smacked
about that?
It wasn't. The swerve is not enough, and like I hear what Marshall's saying, but like I do agree Sanchez should do better. But this is how you guys will know it's not just an agenda. I can be fair, but the way Sanchez is going to save it, I don't think is necessarily the wrong thing. This is a goalkeeper. Like in terms of going that way, I get it. I don't think that's a problem. I just think it's just poor from Sanchez. The way he reads the flight of the ball is just poor.
Also,
I actually don't blame Sanchez, but I go.
I do.
No,
I do for the flight, reading the flight of the ball. However, Caicedo, you have to close that.
What?
Marshall
I
seems to believe, man.
Caicedo for that goal.
The one time I blame Sanchez, you're actually giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
What?
there's more to it. I
Hold on.
don't blame
I just say,
him.
I just say, like, I think it's poor from Sanchez reading the flight of the ball. However, this is how you know I'm fair. Caicedo, as our defensive midfielder, you have to be the one to close that down.
Yeah, I
Because
forgot
I
that was
said-
Caicedo. Yeah,
I said last year, you remember our second goal against City, that Kovacic goal? As much as it was poor from Sanchez, Kovacic was able to dribble through Caicedo and Enzo in one move. One of them should have stopped him and brought him down.
this is
So
true.
if our midfielders don't do the job and just blocking things off, you
they
don't allow-
literally just stared at him, just walk through.
Yes.
That's
Legit
true.
just
Yeah,
stared
that's
at
why-
him. But
That's why, like, the pass from Chalobah, the flicks from Estevao, cool, whatever. Even though I think it's bad, those things happen in game. But our defensive midfielder not just stopping Paqueta from just walking through our
Yeah,
midfield.
Paqueta has
and taking
all
a
the
shot.
time in the world to take
That
a
is
shot,
the
yeah.
big problem. So for me, the biggest guy at fault, I'll be real, is Caicedo. You have to
Like,
not even like run up to meet him. You just have to
Guys,
block,
we,
like stand in
chat,
the
we
path.
made progress.
Caicedo it's not making progress. It's just me being
I'm
being
just
fair.
fucking trolling.
That's
yeah.
how you know last week I was right about the Sanchez thing, because I'm fair. Objectively, I'm actually fair. So even though it's poor positioning from Sanchez, the shot shouldn't be happening in the first place for it to go in. So I'm saying most of it's on Caicedo for me personally.
I
What do
agree.
you think, Scott?
No, I literally the same as you. I think I don't even blame Estevao really. Like it's a stupid flip. I don't blame Chalobah at all. I don't think the pass is poor. I think Estevao just does a stupid flick he doesn't need to do in a poor area. Like the idea isn't bad, the execution was bad because of the area in the pitch. But ultimately, like if Caicedo just closes Paqueta down, like and doesn't allow him to shoot, that goal doesn't happen. If your defensive midfielder does what he's meant to do, and the thing is, I said this on Lewis's stream, it's not even like he was stuck between two minds of, oh, I need to mark this guy, I need to mark that guy. No, I think it was Souček in the midfield was walking away.
Yeah.
He wasn't even like doing anything. He wasn't a factor in the whole thing. You just had to step across.
Souček
get
was running between Chalobah and Gusto, which
There
made
was someone in the midfield as Paqueta was running. There was another guy near him, a West Ham player, who was kind of just standing there watching things happen.
who wears number 11? Fulkrug.
Yeah, it's Fulkrug.
It was Fulkrug was like backing away, which allowed Paqueta to just run into free space.
And it was weird, but it wasn't like he was
left wing in between Chalobah and Gusto, and Paqueta just is allowed to just walk through. And
because
that's
like
why
the thing with the Fulkrug thing is like he wasn't. When you say he was back, it wasn't like he was like using his body to block. He was just standing.
No,
there.
he was just walking. Yeah, he was just walking out of the way.
Standing there.
He just walked out of the way. And the thing is, right? That's why with Caicedo, Caicedo's phenomenal, but that's why I disagree with people when they say he's a defensive midfielder. He's not. He's not a defensive, because a defensive midfielder would have sniffed that out, just like a defensive midfielder would have sniffed out Kovacic's shot against City last season. Lavia would have just blocked that off. Paqueta doesn't take the shot off. Caicedo ends up. Paqueta probably plays that pass out to Diouf on the left wing, and like it's just the little things like that, which like I don't know. It's frustrating because that goal just shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, and after that, that's what I agree. And I think, like I said, I blame Caicedo. The thing with Sanchez is like what he does is just stupid in terms of your positioning is all wrong. The way you attempt to save that is just like kind of fucked. Like it just the way you try and because my thing is like even if you get a hand to that, where are you pushing that? Like that's I don't know where
at
he's
best
pushing
maybe
that.
over the bar or wide.
No, the position I agree. Reading the flight of the ball, I agree. The way he dives, I don't think that's a problem because I would have done the same thing. But again, you have to read the flight of the ball properly, and the positioning has to be on point.
Prime, do you think it's because he's a righty?
You save
or
it. No,
because
he's trying to save it. He's trying to save it, and then you end up like tipping it over the bar or tipping it wide. So I don't mind the way you save it, but
I feel like he could have done it with his left hand better though. But anyway,
that's what I'm thinking.
I think the more egregious thing from Sanchez, and then the one where I think he made a mistake was the Fulkrug goal that got disallowed. Brother gets a full foot to that shot. Yeah, bro gets a full foot to that shot.
But he's getting back up for that goal. Like at the time that Fulkrug makes a shot,
I
he's
felt
still
like the defense
getting
was
up from the initial reaction.
He gets a full foot to that shot.
Yeah, but like that can happen though.
That for me, like that's the one that I think I blame him for.
Really?
Obviously, his passing kind of sucked as well in the game, but that's like
I feel like a 6'6" keeper should be able to save the shot he had.
I blame the other one more on the first one. The second one.
Wait, Chris, you said a 6'6" goalkeeper should be able
I feel like obviously Courtois is world class and all that type of stuff, but like
I feel like Sanchez should have saved that.
It was about no problem. I don't think it's like that far. Like the first goal, I don't think like the second goal they technically not really scored because it's offside.
If you had better positioning and you read the ball, yes, you should be saving it. But the fact his positioning and his reading is off, that's why it's allowed to go in.
That's why his
save. That's why Scott, his save looks bad because his positioning and his reading is off. If you read it properly and you have your positioning on point, the save's not a problem.
I think ultimately the argument here that we're having about all of this is the same argument that keeps being had in terms of this guy's just not good. Like this guy is just not the level we need, and ultimately has been discussed. Like even though I don't think he's at fault, he still manages to do something stupid because he's missing a chromosome. Like because like even though I don't think he's at fault, he just does something in the game where we have to have this debate of, was it his fault? And I think I had the game on mute, so I don't know. But the fact that they're zooming in on him after the goal happens says to me that they're talking on commentary about him. If anyone can attest to that or whatever, because again, I had it on the game on mute. But
yeah, they did. They on the Friday night thingy, they went through the goal.
Fantastic. So we have to have this conversation. So there's a argument to be made that he's at fault for a goal we conceded. It's the second game into a season. It's quite literally.
No, they did it live as well. They said
hang on. It is the second game into a season, and we've already had an incident that you could make an argument that he's at fault for a goal. The only goal so far we've conceded, you can make an argument that Sanchez is the cause of that. there needs to be no argument anymore. He sucks. Now, who you get to replace him is another argument for another day. But we need to just agree as a fan base, this guy is shit. He is not good enough. He sucks.
I mean,
and I think he got lucky. He got very lucky today that he happened to be the second worst goalkeeper on the pitch. Because holy shit, Hermansen sucks.
Sanchez just needs to go bald, because bald Sanchez.
We were
just
talking about that.
Also,
Wow, that's crazy because we were saying that in the
Bald
Discord.
Sanchez.
Can I say
Yo,
the second
for
goal,
some
by the
reason,
way-
when this guy is bald, he is just different.
Can I say the second goal, by
Just
the
needs
way?
to let that hair
So,
go.
like, Tadebo's basing on the byline, makes the cutback. There's a shot. Caicedo blocks it. Fulkrug then gets the rebound. Chalobah should be blocking that after as well. The second goal, I'm not necessarily going to put on Sanchez. I think Chalobah should be blocking that shot from.
Yeah,
I mean, we
that's
did
what me
hold
and
the
Chris
line
were
pretty
saying.
well too.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah,
the
but
thing is, we played the offside line well, and so Debo, if he's not offside, does he probably play that ball in? Maybe, maybe not. You know,
I
but
think
it was just one of those. It's just one of those. Yo, that kind of goal can happen in your penalty box, right? It's a pullback.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, but
You
you
know.
say that, but a better defender reads that and blocks that. Like I'm watching the goal back, right? No one's no one tracks Todibo making that run. But again, we're playing the offside trap, so fair enough. But he makes the cut back. They take the shot. Caicedo blocks it. Then there's a rebound. A top defender that's right next to, like, you're right next to Sanchez where the ball like is shot at from Fulkrug. You should be blocking that. I don't think.
Yeah, we just fell
that is-
asleep over there.
And
We
that's
just fell
another
asleep.
thing where it's like Sanchez is not good enough. Chalobah's not good enough. To be starting for us, they're not.
I do
We're
want
going to be
I
challenging,
know,
but I
like,
agree with you. I agree with you.
bro, Ben Roberts needs to be sacked, by the way, like expeditiously. This guy is our goalkeeping scout, you know. We were interested in Hermansen. Never forget, people. Bro,
No,
we
no,
no.
Moresco wanted Hermansen. Moresco wanted Hermansen for one. And two, I'll be real, like, Hermansen shouldn't be at West Ham. They're just too ass. But he is actually, I think he actually is. I think he's a good goalkeeper.
Defensively,
bro, they've conceded 8 goals. He's been responsible for at least 3 of them.
Yes, I know, but also, like, what? But also, if you're as a goalkeeper, you're playing in a team where you're getting pelted all the time. You're going to concede.
No, Prime, I hear that, but bro, like, we talk about how many mistakes Sanchez made last season. Hermansen has made 3 errors leading to goals in 2 games.
Yes, I know, but if Hermansen played with a defense, you would see that he is actually better. Like, again, I'm not saying he should come to Chelsea. By the way, I'm not saying he should come to Chelsea, but like, he is better than what you guys are giving him credit for.
I don't know.
I haven't seen enough.
Do you know where I disagree? Because you can use players in the past, like Pickford at Sunderland. Sunderland were a shit team, but Pickford was a good keeper at the time. He was a good shot stopper. He kept them from conceding goals. Hermansen is not doing that. And I'm not saying he's like I'm not saying that he's like the worst goalkeeper in the league, but I'm saying that he looks awful right now. And it's more than
looks like he's 5'11".
Yeah, it's more than just
looks like 5'11". You can't.
The fact they conceded from 2 corners, both of which because he failed to claim a corner. Literally, the same thing happened twice.
Okay, question. It's a mad that I'm asking it. Do you think Hermansen's worse than Sanchez?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
Are you talking? Question? Can I clarify something? As a keeper in general, or on current form?
Oh my god. Okay, fine. On current
Yeah,
form,
yes.
In general,
Sanchez.
like, did you watch him last season? Did you watch him last
I don't think I watched him last season. I'll be honest. So I won't say.
Not really.
Okay, cool. There's again,
general.
You have,
like,
so probably.
we'll wait and see, because he's at West Ham. He's at a bigger club. No disrespect to Leicester, so he'll get more of a spotlight. So we'll see, but I don't know.
I have a very curious question. Ederson is probably going to Turkey. Why can't we just go for someone like that?
No, hell
No?
Hell no.
Bro, for like 10 mil, you can't go wrong with that.
I feel like you can just get Mike Mannion or
Chelsea, what
Donnarumma.
we're doing, right, is what we're doing is like, because Penders is our long-term goalkeeper, and I think this loan at Strasbourg they're banking on him being ready in a year or two max. I watched a scout, like I did some
But we
research.
can't rely on
Defenders.
Sanchez for 2 years, man.
I know.
That's tough.
I don't agree with that either. That's why I wanted Petrovic in goal. But I did my
he's worse
research.
too, bro.
He's not worse. He's not worse. But regardless. Okay. Regardless. I was doing my research on Penders a few days ago, like reading scout reports, watching videos and stuff. Bro, like the potential this guy genuinely has, they rate him massively out in Belgium. He came from the Genk Academy, and if you know Belgium and how they're able to produce quality goalkeepers, there's like he's compared to Courtois for a reason.
As long as he doesn't tell us he either starts or we got to sell him.
They compare him to Courtois, but he's much better with his feet than Courtois will ever be.
You're talking about Penders?
Yeah.
Yes, when he was playing out in when he was in the Genk Academy, like the way they train they're training their goalkeepers is that you're not just a goalkeeper. At times in the academy, you'll play outfield, whether it's part of the defense, or you're playing as a striker, or you're playing on the wing. You're getting used to playing on the ball. He's a quality. They rate him massively in Genk, and
so the Penders should be coming in next year.
I remember last year.
That's the idea.
Hold on. I remember last year.
1 year, boom, bring him in.
Hold on. I remember last year Scott was talking about Penders and like why isn't he played a lot of games and whatever. He was starting games at the start of the season last year, but because we had him, but he was starting at one point for them. But the reason why he hasn't
start regularly.
I know he started half a season. I'm getting to that, but the reason why he hasn't started the full season for them is because they also have another goalkeeper at a starting level, and because they don't own him, we own Penders. They don't want to waste that development on a player that's just not going to be theirs. Mm-hmm. That's why he wasn't starting a lot for them. But again, all this stuff is coming from someone who's actually a Genk fan. Like,
you're a Genk fan?
I'm watching now. There's a video I can even send you to watch, Marshall, if you want, or a review.
Oh yeah, I'm not opposed.
It's a Genk. He's a Genk fan and a Chelsea fan.
Send to Scott.
He was on a podcast and they were talking about Penders. Like this is like a year, like last season.
Yeah.
And the way they were talking about Penders, bro, he's rated highly, bro.
Bro,
and that's probably why we like.
I agree with CJ.
We're not going for a Donnarumma or a Mike Maignan heavily this year because they're banking on him being good enough in a year or two.
Well,
and I don't like that we still have Sanchez. I don't like that. But I think that's the thing. We're just banking on that massively because this kid is like massively rated, bro. The talent this kid has, bro.
No, that's fair, but like the reason why I don't rate him anywhere near as highly is because I saw what Courtois was doing at that I saw what Courtois was doing a year or two younger at the same club, and like I see the level he performed at. So for me, this whole Penders thing of like you can say, oh, but they had another starting goalkeeper. So did Genk at the time when Courtois came in. The same thing happened. They got injured. Courtois came in and solidified that spot immediately. He was the best goalkeeper in the league when they won the league.
Yeah, and Genk, when that other goalkeeper was playing, Genk were dropping down and losing points to the fact of their fans were saying, why isn't Penders playing? Like he's like the way people like view him and rate him. Like, bro, I'm just saying like that's the reason why there's massive hope on Penders. And I don't like that we still have Sanchez. You guys know how I feel about Sanchez. That's why I wanted Petrovic to play. But that's why we haven't gone for a Donnarumma or a Maignan.
Oh no, I agree with you. Ultimately, like I know what the plan is. Like I know that the plan is Penders, and I know that's why we haven't signed anyone else, or are not willing to spend big money on anyone else, I should say. And I know that's the plan long term, and I know they think he's going to become great. I'm just saying that like I need to see it before I can believe it. In terms of he needs to have a performance across a season that was comparable to what we saw from Petrovic last season. Yeah. Like, you need to be minimum best three goalkeepers in that league. Obviously, your job has become easier because one of that three list has left, or is leaving, I should say. The other of that 3-person list, you could argue, is now at the best team in France. but your job has theoretically become easier. You just need to, excuse me, you just need to like be able to perform and show you can be on that level. Like if he performs this season, and if he shows that he can be a keeper of that level, then cool. I'm happy with him starting. My issue came when people said he deserves to start after playing half a season at Genk, because he couldn't start for half a season. Because you can say he wasn't good enough or whatever, but didn't play for half a season.
To see there,
yeah, was relegated to the second team. Like you don't go from that to starting week in, week out for Chelsea. I'm sorry, you just don't, because that didn't happen with Courtois. He played instantly. It didn't happen with other people either. So, like before the season, and then we can adjust.
Yeah, I get that. And that's, I mean, especially considering the team that Strasbourg have built, it's definitely a team to watch, because you can tell there's a lot of players that have been, we talked about this yesterday, have been promised the idea of Chelsea as their future, or could potentially move up to Chelsea depending on how well they do in in Strasbourg, that you want to kind of keep an eye on. And Strasbourg are not going to be a bad team this season. I doubt it. I mean, Rossignol as a manager has had a pretty impressive first season and convincing second season so far. So it's definitely going to be a player to watch. But yeah, I mean, I hope that this does work out, because I listen, as much as I sit here and I have defended Sanchez from over criticism, I still believe, and I've said this consistently.
You're tapped, by the way, for that opinion, and we cooked you on, like, rightfully so, on Lewis's stream for your like terrible.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that, because like I still think he's a top saver, like a.
Oh, I was gonna say, hang on.
Oh, you got
so he's at fault for the goal, by the way. So
yeah, he is.
So his shot stopping failed him.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 shot stopper in the league.
Not a chance.
I mean, it's 2 games out of 38, so let's see what happens at the end of the season, right? But I still hold to the opinion that he is a great shot stopper, and I mean, Donnarumma is better than him. He's probably equal level shot stopping as Mignon.
Wait, I thought we were on about the league, or are we on about the world? Do you think he's top 5 in the world?
I know he's
in the league.
Ah,
yeah, I think maybe he breaks into the top 10 in the world. But
what?
Yeah, that's well, we talked about this last stream. I think maybe he's top 10 in the world, or maybe just out of it.
Yeah, you're
he has
off top of my head, probably.
He has good stop shopping ability, like shot stopping. Jesus Christ, dyslexia. He has good shot stopping ability. We've seen it in Club World Cup. We've seen it multiple times in the season. Like it's just the people tend to remember the bad moments over the good ones, and I try to be as like non-biased as possible when it comes to that stuff.
I would say because like he makes the most mistakes last season, and he had like still like conceded the third least, because our defense was quite good last season still, and he still made a lot of errors.
Our defense was good at the end of the season.
No, but even like start of season, him and Cole and Fofana, I thought was pretty good, and obviously the fullback.
No.
Yeah, they were.
What are you talking about?
They was good, and then when Fofana
No, they weren't.
it got a bit. Yeah, they were. They were. Like
until December, Cole and Fofana were very questionable.
No,
we were questioning our defense the whole entire season.
I weren't. I remember I weren't questioning.
They were both questioning points. Like Cole started
even
the
after
season
the game, like they did
and
well.
then got worse
like,
over time.
Did a little bit
Fofana
iffy, but
started the season poor and then got better up until he got injured.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, pretty much. Like Colwell took a while. Like
no,
Chaps, I don't know what you think.
He started the season very well. It's just he got worse. Like he started like the first few games, he was very good. Then he got like worse and worse as time went on.
But don't you think that like part of the reason we thought this is my opinion.
Yeah,
part of the reason I thought he was good is because Fofana took a lot of the brunt of the criticism versus him. And once Fofana got injured, people started to see like, oh shit, like Colwell's not as good as we thought. Like Fofana was actually taking a lot of criticism.
what's also where was Sanchez for the most clean sheets since we had the third best defense?
He was sixth.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, out of 20 teams is not bad.
I remember like where we drew to Arsenal 1-1 and he let in that near post goal. Like we could have won that game if it wasn't for Sanchez.
I think that was a Martinelli goal, right?
I think it was Martinelli. It was this near post, and I felt like he should have done better for, as you say, a top 5 shot stopper in the league. You would expect better from that one. I don't know. I don't view him as top 5. I could say like not Ramsdale. Fuck me. David Raya, for example, Martinez. I still think the Tottenham keeper, what I've seen, is a better shot.
You're fighting for Tottenham keeper so hard.
No, I think he's quite good. Maybe it's just the games I've seen, but like he's
decent, but I don't think he's as good as you.
I think Leno's. Yeah, like who else is there? Sal's as well, like the non-false keeper.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I almost forgot his.
Martinez is better than him. What's his face? Martinez,
Sells,
Raya. Kelleher is better shot than him.
He is. I actually agree about that.
Yeah,
Martinez,
Sells is, Raya is. I'm trying to go through the teams.
What about Nick Pope?
Pope's a better shot stopper than him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Kelleher's a better shot stopper than him. Your shit.
Last season, Pope was unavailable for a good portion.
No, but I'm just saying in general, like he's quite good for.
But I'm talking about last season.
I know,
right?
but like he's
just to make that clear.
Pickford's a better shot stopper than he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pickford. Yeah.
100%.
No,
he is. So one thing you can say about Pickford has a lot of faults. He's a very good shot stopper.
Yeah.
I can't really argue that much. I feel.
I agree with you. Like, there's not like amazing people on the keeper, but.
And by the way, even if you take Kelleher out of that list, that's still 5 better than him.
What about Edison? Because Edison's not the greatest, but like
shot stopping is questionable. Like the problem with like Edison and Vicario.
If we're just looking at last season in isolation.
Did we even mention Allison, by the way?
Yeah, we did.
Like,
Allison.
Yeah. I didn't one on that list.
I didn't list him. There's like 6 or 7 I can list easily actually, ahead of Sanchez. Like Sanchez is not that great. I know you disagree, but like,
yeah,
I guess we'll just disagree to agree.
Agree to disagree. Yeah.
Like, you want him gone for a reason.
Was that today, by the way, Scott?
What?
The Lewis stream?
Yes, it was earlier. Okay. It was a watch along.
I will look into it. It was a watch along. Okay.
I had someone try to tell me, by the way. That we shouldn't expect to score 3 goals. He never, bro. Gilno, if you're watching, where you at, boy? Where you at, buddy? I had someone try to tell me that we weren't gonna that I shouldn't expect us to score 3 goals against West Ham because they're difficult to play against. Because they have good defenders.
Wait, say that again. West Ham.
I got told. I said I expected 3 goals minimum today against West Ham before the game. I got told that's stupid to expect that because West Ham have good defenders and they're a good team.
They conceded 3 against Sunderland.
Hey, remember we were linked to Tadibo. I was gonna say that earlier. Like, remember we wanted Tadibo?
I saw a tweet from a United fan saying, I saw a tweet from a United fan saying, "Thank God that because obviously they were linked with Tadibo. Until like it got disallowed by UEFA because on Eastman, I can't remember the exact wording. I'm paraphrasing. Like, thank God this got disallowed. We got Euro instead."
That's crazy because I expected before this game we'll score 3 to 4. I think.
Well, same.
I thought we
they just conceded 3 to Sunderland for God's sake.
I know they broke the record of the 2 opening games to concede the most goals in the Premier League history now. I think I saw Sky Sports pull it up when I was watching the game.
Tadibo looked horrible today. Yeah, just West Ham's defense in general looked absolutely.
Yeah, their whole defenses. To be fair, it's not even just their defense. Their midfield is tragic.
We just ran rampant today.
I don't know what they got. They got a decent attack, I would say Navy, but I don't know. That's probably the best part.
And to be fair, I know Hermanson isn't as bad, but this is where I go back to that argument about what I was using to defend, not really defend, but using to kind of bolster my argument that like there's a possibility that we could improve on Sanchez. Which is the whole, like, if your defense is shit, your goalkeeper's probably going to be shit as well.
No, but that's...
Like,
I hear that, Marshall, but I use the argument again of Pickford. Pickford played for a shit Sunderland team.
Yeah, but, like, a lot of people don't rate Pickford. You know?
The people that rate him now, when he was at Sunderland, he was very highly rated, especially when it came to shot stopping. His shot stopping was incredible at Sunderland. He
Was that the
saved them a
same
lot of time.
Sunderland that had
That was
and stuff?
Yeah, that was when Sunderland got relegated, and he was
I
like
saw-
their best
I
player. He was
saw
incredible.
Pickford- I still rate
Um,
Pickford, but yeah, no. To be fair, like I hear what Scott's saying, and also what Marshall's saying. Like I think it's kind of also a bit of both. Like sometimes as a goalkeeper, if you're playing in a bad side, there's still only so much you can do. Some goalkeepers, like I remember when Pickford at Sunderland didn't.
By the way, just to, not to interrupt too quickly, but like, which is why I give Petrovic the benefit of the doubt. By the way, just saying.
What do you mean?
Petrovic was a good shot stopper though. Like when he was at Arsenal, he was.
He's
playing.
great, but people want to slate him off because of what happened against Liverpool.
His shot
It's
stop-
first of
He
all,
was
it's
good
Liverpool.
against that bastard.
Yeah, no. People who slate Petrovic are the same people who rate Sanchez. So
Yeah, for the most part, like obviously there's games that are
That's
outliers and
Yeah,
whatnot, but for the most part across his career, because like I've like taken an interest in his career since he was in MLS because I watch it. His shot stopping has been incredible for basically most of his career. Again, there are
what I was saying. There was a period in the Prem during that Pickford era where, and I can't remember if it was just Sunderland, but where relegation goalkeepers would have like the best save percentage or something in the Prem.
Oh yeah, that's because they just face
And
the most
they
shots.
get-
But I think
like it happened to like Mignolet as well, and I think another goalkeeper.
Mignolet, I forgot about Mignolet.
Because I remember Mignolet was at Sunderland, right? He had that brilliant whatever season of the most shots or whatever. Then he got that move to Liverpool. Pickford, same thing, got that move to Everton. So yeah, it could work in both ways, to be fair. But like, I don't know. Like Hermansen,
Yeah, the howlers.
I still think he's a good goalkeeper. But again, this season will be a big test for him because this West Ham defense is so bad. And Potter, boy, bro. All you people that gassed Potter when he was at Brighton and saying he was to be England manager, bro. Rest in peace, bro. He's out.
Do you guys think that the Brighton recruitment carried Potter?
No, like not entirely, because like you still have to perform at the end of the day. And like I think
like,
he's still.
This is not the Potter I knew at Brighton.
No,
You know what I'm
100% it's not, and I do, but I don't fully blame him at what is going on at West Ham. Like their recruitment is shockingly bad. Their recruitment is shit. Like go and look at who they signed this window. It's Callum Wilson who came on and did nothing, like just tragic.
He's still playing the bad players though.
Oh no, I know, but like, bro, look at their bench. They don't have anyone. The only person that I think could be playing in their team right now that some West Ham fans think should be playing is Alvarez. But he's gone on loan to Fenerbahce because he wasn't fancied. Outside of him, there's no one else.
I mean, Alvarez isn't good either. But if you talk to Mike, there's young players in that team that should be getting more of a chance because of how bad the first teamers are.
First, like, and I'm not like what's it called? I'm not trying to absolve him of any blames. He definitely takes them. I'm saying like some of it is down to their recruitment as well. Like it's all of the above. I genuinely forgot about some of it. He must be injured. There's no way that guy's fit.
Yeah.
Bro, actually,
I totally forgot about him too.
What player?
Somerville.
Also,
hamstrings.
Also, the lap, by the way, right? Like, at first off, watching the full game, I didn't know what to make of the last performance. But seeing the game back, what'd you say?
It was excellent.
Yeah, seeing the game back, having to go up on your own against a back three. And yes, fine, West Ham aren't good, but like dealing with three defenders, dealing with three defenders is still dealing with three defenders, and having to deal with that on your own, which gives more like space and freedom for Pedro and Esteban and the rest to operate in. Like he had a very good game as a hold-up center, as a striker. He had a very good game.
Yeah, I think it will be very interesting though. Like you know how we spoke about this whole if you're playing Pedro and Delap up front, like I low-key will keep Jackson as the other option. I'm not even gonna lie, because it just feels like we have no other options off the bench. Granted, like if Siemens joins and you still have Garnacho, you still want to have someone to come in and just give you an outlet. You know, you don't want to run Pedro 80 minutes and then now he got to go up front, and it's just. I feel like we need that Giroud type of profile. You know, experience, cheap as hell, about 28, 29, plug in and play.
Someone said this on the timeline, like I think a week ago. Jamie Vardy.
Nah. Okay, bro, you took it too far.
But you just said like an old striker you can plug in.
No, like and Vardy's old, but like, oh fuck. I guess.
Do you literally mean a Giroud profile?
Yeah,
a
like
supporting striker.
a supporting striker type, like not necessarily Jamie Vardy.
No, but
I don't know.
That's
It's
why
just
I
weird.
ask you because
No, not Antonio.
Vardy fits
Antonio's done. Antonio's done.
but that's why I then asked, like, because Vardy fits the old mold of the old striker experience, can come in when needed. But or
Vardy
do you
just
actually mean?
I don't
or
think
you actually
Vardy
mean-
suits what we want to do. I think he would.
Yeah,
just
but
wouldn't.
that's why I'm asking you. What do you actually mean? Olivier Giroud's like player profile, what talking about?
Not necessarily. I think just someone of that coming in doesn't really mind being a squad option at best. So Vardy's a shout. Is just not what we need. You know what I mean? Like he just doesn't. Vardy's just not what we're doing. Not even about him. It's just the kind of player he is. It's just I can't see Vardy trying to just drop deep and link up and I just can't see it.
No.
Yeah, I just can't see it. Like one name I always threw out there was like a Wissa. And for me, it's impossible. It looks
I don't think
unreal.
Vizza would come to Chelsea to be third choice.
Hey, listen, you
Don't
about to
wanna-
be 29
I'll be
world
real.
champions.
I do not want us spending 70 more on a backup striker. Like
Nah, yeah, no, he definitely will be. No, so like I'll take someone like a
70 mils a
Wissa
lot.
who's cheap. Like if Wissa was
Yeah.
going for like
I
30
know.
M's, even 35, I'll take a punt at it. But he's not.
Yeah, but that's.
But if you
where
could
gonna
give me
find a
someone
player
like that.
Where are you gonna find a player like that?
Yeah, bro, you might
Did
have
you-
to go to Syria or something.
By the way, did David Jonathan go to a club? Isn't he on a like?
David
he went somewhere. Yeah.
I think he went to like Juve, no?
Is he?
I think
Yeah,
so.
Where did he go?
He was like basically for
Juve,
nothing,
right? Am I okay?
I
yeah,
think
he did
so.
go
I
to
think
Juve.
so. I think it was
Okay.
Juve.
We were talking about him before. I would have took him as a third option easily.
Yeah. Low
Yeah,
key,
but
Jackson,
he's on
Jackson
free.
should be that
Jonathan
guy.
David is not a third choice option.
No, I'm
right?
just saying, like, say we like played, I don't know, Delap and João Pedro a lot, then he'll be like that guy to compete with him anyway. But because I don't know, his numbers like definitely speak for him. Like the last 3-4 seasons, he's been getting like 20 goals or something, and that's just to me not unnoticed. Like no one's really looked at him. What a surprise to me.
I'll be real. I'd just keep Jackson.
I mean,
and I agree.
yeah,
I don't mind keeping Jackson, but if we can double the money we make on him,
Yeah,
I don't
60's
mind
a
that
lot.
either. Like it's a good amount of profit. Like we have a potential to be net zero at the end of this window, which is insane for
You
anyone.
know what it is?
actually-
If you move on Jackson and you go get another Jackson from, I don't know, Villarreal or somebody, fairs. Spend the 30 M, sell Jackson for what, 60, 70, and you still got your money and you still have that option, someone you can still develop alongside all these guys. Just gives us something else, you know, because I like the balance between Pedro and Delap, and for sure, like I like to see them
Marshall,
start a lot.
bring this up.
I just
Fun-
need somebody else. there.
Fun stat. Hello.
he said fun start.
No club has scored 5+ more Premier League. Has scored in 5. No club has scored 5+ in more Premier League away games than Chelsea since Enzo Maresca joined them.
I like this stat for obvious reasons, but also for the reason, the fact that like I feel like this season, I know it's early doors, but I said this last season. In the beginning of last season, you had attack, but defensively it was very questionable, right? Which is why I looked at Chris funny when he said like, "Oh, Fofana wasn't that bad and Cole wasn't that bad." Like I was like, "Wait a minute, no."
They
I was
weren't.
No, I think they were very questionable.
think
and
when
that was one of the,
Fofana went,
that was
Cole
one of the
was
reasons
different.
I said we can't challenge for the league because I think our defense is going to let us down. Towards the end of last season, there was a complete role reverse, right? Where like defensively we looked better, but offensively we were poor.
Can I say something? Did we concede a lot of goals in the first half of the season?
In Chris's defense,
No, we didn't.
right?
We did.
Colwell and Fofana, they started off shaky as individuals and as a pairing, but they started to build up a bit of momentum, and then Fofana got injured.
Yeah, and then Fofana got injured.
I think that's what Chris means.
Fofana got injured, and then Cole had to develop that relationship with Tosin, and he struggled to do it for a while.
I mean, it wasn't consistent.
And then Lavia, not Lavia.
And it wasn't consistent. That's also true.
And then Reese also got injured as well, because again, we were showing like very good consistency. Fofana got injured, and then we were dealing with it with Fofana still being out. And Reese got injured, and then Jackson stopped scoring. Palmer stopped scoring. Jackson got injured, and
but that's why, like, I feel like this season, one of the criticism I had from Maresca was like, okay, Maresca, you know what your attack is capable of, and you know like what your defense is capable of. Now you have to find a balance, and I feel like so far this season we're looking like we're finding that balance. I'm counting Club World Cup games, right? But like I feel like we're now starting to find, and we're going in the trajectory of finding that balance of like, okay, we can be good defensively and offensively we can be very dangerous. Today we showed it. Outside of the silly mistake that, you know, Steval gives away the possession, and, you know, Sanchez probably needs to do better, most likely needs to do better to save that goal. Outside of that, we keep a clean sheet, guys. And we score 5 goals, which is really impressive for any team. Most teams, it's like one or the other. You either keep a clean sheet and you don't score enough goals, or you outscore the opponent like Liverpool did against Bournemouth. So, like, I like the balance that the team is going towards. And that's one thing that I said last season, towards the end of last season, Maresca needs to improve on, because I want to be able to be that team that we can score a goal, but when we need to close down defensively, we can close out a game 1-0, 2-0, which is what we did last season. We had a few 1-0s that we were able to like shut the game down and finish the game with a 1-0 victory.
But we also have the options to be able to do that as well. So like when people say managers should change things up, sometimes if you don't, like we saw with Spurs in the Super Cup, 2-0 up, 10 minutes to go, Frank made changes and the team got worse because they don't have a good squad. Chelsea have a squad where we can make changes to do different things and it will work because of the quality we have in the team. And also, someone put this at halftime, or someone tweeted, we forced a back 5 formation to change shape at halftime. Forget the win against PSG. This is the biggest sign for me that we've improved. And that is also a fair point. We forced them to change shape at halftime. Went from a back 5 to a back 4.
I was like, well, not just that. We forced them to change shape twice. So we forced them to change shape to a back 4 at halftime. And then what was it, like 70 minutes into the second half, after we battered them, they went back to a back 5.
I didn't notice that.
Graham Potter overthinking it as always.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I gotta give credit to Chelsea. Obviously,
Like,
no, yeah, obviously.
We was just,
this is against these stubborn, low block, bad relegation sides that, like us winning 5. Like I figured we'd win 5-3.
We're saying West Ham's
I didn't know how good our attack would be, and I thought Hermansen would just be better when I go, as the goalkeeper. But us winning 5-1 against a team that probably will get relegated, as a team challenging for the title, we should be doing that. Because I'd expect City to be able to beat West Ham 5-1. I expect Liverpool to do that. I would expect Arsenal to do that. So we're doing what should be expected of a team challenging for a title.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. Obviously, to what Ahmed was saying earlier, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, right? Because this is a really shitty West Ham side that I think most of us on this panel expected to beat. Maybe not this badly, but we all expected to beat them, right? So it's one of those, like, maybe tame expectations a little bit. Maybe get the likes up
Who
on the
we got
stream,
next?
guys,
I'm not even
gentlemen.
looked, actually.
Next game I think is Fulham. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this right now and you're enjoying the content and you're enjoying the analyses that we're providing to you guys, maybe smash the like up because it does help us out tremendously. I haven't looked all stream, and to be fair, I just finished eating my meal and I'm just like refreshed and sharper than I was before. And I'm noticing, hey guys, you're not smashing the like button. Like, what's going on here? Let's not have a Sanchez howler here. So
I
smash
like
the like
our,
button.
by the way, I'm looking at our fixtures right now. I like our odds.
I thought you were about to say you like the fact that we have 43 likes, and I was like, Chris, you're about to get kicked off this panel. Exactly.
No, like I'm looking at our fixture, like I'm liking our odds, like for this, how we're playing too. Obviously,
Well, that's why people were upset about the first game, right? Because we were expecting 12 points out of 12 before international break.
See, I even said to you, I know we didn't do no prediction thing, but I thought we'd draw to Crystal Palace, especially with the injuries. I thought we'd draw. I didn't get the scoreline right. I thought it'd be 1-1 or something. But I expected to win today. But yeah, like we got Fulham at home, we got Brentford away.
Before the international break.
No, we go into international break after the next two
August.
games.
Is it?
The next two.
Are you sure?
We have
August,
Fulham.
wait,
Oh no, after Fulham, I think we go into
it's after
international
Fulham.
break.
Yeah, it's after Fulham.
So it's next week.
Yeah,
we're
there's
going
2
to-
more.
okay, cool. So
Yeah.
win next week. What? That's 7 points.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
7 points out of the first 3 is not terrible.
Palace will take points away from Liverpool, City, and Arsenal as well.
I agree.
Yeah,
So that's
they
not,
have
even
lost
though we
this
didn't
game.
play well, the draw is not the worst result because I'd also expect Palace to be able to do that to everyone else.
I mean, listen, we couldn't beat them last season.
we could barely. We always draw to them. Those fuckers.
And they
always
were
draw to
much
us.
better against us last year.
Yeah.
Last week, like, yes, fine, they defended well enough, but
We could have won that
they
game.
weren't brilliant against
We
us,
could've.
and we still created enough chances where if we just take one of them, we win 1-0 and we're out of the game.
Yeah,
Win
obviously in the
that.
second leg, if they lose Eze and Gahey, right?
Yeah,
like we
it's
expect to beat
yeah.
them, but
If they
you
lose
know.
Gahey, like, oh, that's a hit for them.
that's a big
Right.
hit. Oh,
But-
actually, they did lose Eze.
No,
Right?
yeah, they lost
Gahey,
Thursday, yeah, but like I'm talking about defensively, like
yeah.
he's
Gahey
one
is a
of them.
big.
He's one
big,
of them
big-
important players
yeah.
too. He's
No, for
I
sure.
don't know. I would take him at Chelsea, but I don't think we'll look at him.
Mhm.
Probably too expensive maybe for us.
I do think Fulham. We'll see this weekend, right? Because it's only been one game, but this weekend we'll see how Fulham stand. Like, I
That's
think
the
we
Man
can get a
United.
result against Fulham.
Yeah.
Listen, I expect Man United to win that, right? Because like United have.
Yeah, I
improved.
want to
They
see how
looked-
Man United play to him.
against Arsenal. United looked a little bit better, right? I think all of us can agree that United deserved to
disagree.
win that game.
Wait, you
Really?
thought that Arsenal was bad?
I think Arsenal scored within like 12, 13 minutes. And then all they really had to do was like kind of defend and see it out, take the foot off the gas. Man United don't break down low blocks. They've not been able to do that for like 2-3 years. United had like 6 shots on target, and out of those 6 shots, none of them were clear-cut opportunities. People are overgassing how well United played. Like it's not. Go beat Fulham. Like, and let's see how much you've actually changed. I'll be real. And I expect them to beat Fulham because I expect Fulham to come out. Because I expect Fulham to come out and attack United, and United to go and counter against Fulham. And Fulham's defense is not
That's
as good
so
as Arsenal.
insulting towards United.
It's not insulting. It's honest.
I mean, when you think about it, it's like go and beat Fulham. You're talking about Manchester United, but
Yeah,
it's
but that's
crazy
not
because
all
last
in every
season
year,
they were
so,
shit.
I'm talking about a team that finished 15th in the league last season.
I know. That's why it's like so
Arsenal
funny.
didn't show them. Arsenal scored so early; they didn't have to show them any respect. And fine, Arsenal fans can also say they didn't play well. Yes, but you don't have to play well against the 15th best team in the league, especially with a manager that is currently the worst in the league. Amram has a worse win percentage than Potter.
No way.
Yeah, he
Amram
will.
at United has a worse win
Does he
percentage
really?
than Potter at West
Yes,
Ham.
of course he
Yes.
does. Like Potter didn't
Yeah, he
like
does.
go this low. Like
So again,
he
like
when he joined off, he kept losing.
the
Like
fact that Arsenal didn't take this United team
God.
seriously, I don't like. Forget the rivalry in name. On paper, you're facing it's the second best team in the league against the 15th worst team in the league. I don't really expect anything to happen, especially when you scored so early. Like, nah, I don't really
I
care.
still thought Arsenal got a little bit lucky.
If Arsenal came out and started attacking and probing at United after their first goal. Arsenal probably could have like drawn that game. I predicted 2-2 because I thought it would be that way. But
I had no idea
like,
United would this bad.
They,
You didn't know?
yes,
Wow.
Marshall.
Yeah.
United have not. Amram has not won back-to-back games at United.
Wait, there's a fan who won't shave his
Yeah,
hair.
the hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
He won't shave his hair.
5 games in a row, brother. You're gonna have
thinking-
really long hair
and
soon.
out of their 6 shots
Gonna
that
like
they
Gandalf.
had on target, most of them were individual brilliance from Mbeumo and Cunha because they're good players. It wasn't
Yeah.
like they created anything beautifully through a pattern from Amram.
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah.
Like they're still not good. They still have Onana in goal. They still have
Mm-hmm.
Bruno playing in the heart of their midfield. They're not that good.
I still have Casemiro and Luke Shaw playing.
Yeah, it's just
Casemiro, to be
gas them
fair,
that
had
way.
a good performance that game, though. To be
He was
fair,
one of the better
Casemiro
ones, I guess.
showed.
Yes, but Arsenal's midfield was also shit. But then again, it didn't have to be good because United couldn't do anything.
Mhm.
I mean, I hear what you're
Like,
saying about it.
I just
I
go
thought
beat
Arsenal
Fulham.
got a little bit
Go
lucky
beat
there.
Fulham. Because
I mean, this might be the fan in me because I do like Casemiro a lot. I do feel like once he leaves United, you're gonna see like, oh, yeah,
Oh no,
this is Casemiro.
Agate, that midfielder is dreadful.
Ugarte is horrible, and the fact that Manu's not playing like is insane
Like
to me.
he was
too.
supposed to be that guy, basically, like to come in. He's younger and
3 more likes away from 50,
he
ladies and
can't-
gents. Go and
I'll
smash
be
that
real-
like button.
I'll be real.
Sorry.
Casemiro's like he's finished. He's washed. The
Yeah.
reason why
I
he
think
still looks
a lot
good-
of it. I think he is, but I think a lot of it's fucking Man United.
No, I just think he's.
I think two things
just
can
think
be
he's-
true still there.
I just think he's past it in terms of age. But the reason why he still looks good is because United aren't good. Their midfield is not good. The same way Ronaldo, when he was washed, was still the top goal scorer at Man United and the 3rd top goal scorer in the league.
He was one of their best players. Yeah.
If you
Well,
are
not
that
the
good,
best
even you being washed can still be better than most people. And Casemiro is one of the all-time DMs, so he still looks
Yeah.
better than what is at United. Ugarte, who like is just a white Gallagher.
Yeah, I mean, he's worse though to me.
He might.
But
be
yeah,
worse. Actually,
I
he
agree.
honestly might be worse. Yeah, to be honest. At least Gallagher. I mean, actually, Scott as the number 1 Gallagher hater. Who's worse, Gallagher or Ugarte?
You don't care.
That is a fantastic question. Nah, it's still Gallagher.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like that Agate guy.
If I was Kobe Mainu, I'd want to leave that club immediately.
Oh, God, he's
if
still
you
in the
have
club, yeah.
Ugarte starting ahead of you, or even coming on ahead of you,
Kobe Mine is pretty good going forward too.
I think Kobe Maino's a really solid player. I wouldn't
Yeah,
even
he is.
mind having him in Chelsea
Well,
as depth
well,
to
the
like
issue
maybe
is
a
with
backup
both-
to Lavia. Not that he plays the
Honestly,
same
do you know
role.
with like Ugarte and with these type of players is like Ugarte would be fine in like a Fulham, right? Or like a I'm trying to think who else.
Even a Crystal
I
Palace
think he'd
to
be
an
fine
extent.
in like Palace next to. Yeah, he'd be fine
Wharton.
in a Palace team next to Wharton, right? He'd be
Yeah.
fine in a team that is able to sit deep. He doesn't have to cover a lot of ground. He doesn't have to be the main ball progressor. He just has to be the wall. The problem is in that United team, because they're absolutely horrendous recruitment in midfield, and because of their horrendous recruitment in terms of manager, they went and bought a manager in who has his midfield play a certain way when you had absolutely no midfielders in terms of central midfielders who could play that way.
Mm.
So Ugarte's inability to play under pressure, to collect the ball from the centre backs and dictate play, to be able to press high up the pitch in terms of with then leaving space in behind, is all highlighted because the whole team is a mess.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Gallagher. Gallagher doesn't work in a possession-based system, but he works in a system where you're going to be high pressure off the ball
Counter-attacking.
and win the ball up high, or a team, that's counter-attacking where you don't really have to dictate again, don't have to get on the ball. You just have to be the run in behind or whatever. Then he can work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's United's looking very peak this season. I'll be honest with you. Let's see how it goes.
I still quite like. But I don't know about Sesko, but like Mbembo and Cunha, like they're pretty
They're
good players.
No, they're good players.
When I saw Mbembo and even Cunha against Arsenal, I thought they looked decent, and like I think Prime said, like there wasn't many like great patterns of play in general from the midfield or whatever, but like they did, like I thought Mbembo came close twice, like that header and that one shot he had, and even Cunha when he took on like 3 Arsenal players,
3, 4.
yeah,
Totally unrelated, but isn't it ironic how Caicedo's first appearance was that shambolic performance against West Ham, and then 2 seasons on a row after that, he's gotten a goal and an assist on that same ground.
That's actually kind of crazy now to think about it. Yeah, that's great. I'm actually happy you brought that up because I would have never even thought about that.
Like his first game, he looked like he was playing in those same temps.
He takes it personally.
Borrowed, you know?
He takes it personally.
Facts. 2 seasons in a row, an assist, a goal.
100th appearance too. Big up to Zaida for bringing that up.
I can't believe how quick he's got there.
Yeah, no, I mean,
he just plays every game, doesn't he? Though that's what it is. He never gets a break.
I mean, he's been worked like
he's a
a dog
workhorse.
this season.
But he's also a workhorse. I mean, even today, I was surprised he didn't come off for whatchamacallit.
He didn't come off, no.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what he's made out of. He's made out of something like
Chelsea created 7 big chances today.
That's good. That's good. I mean, listen. I mean, it might be. We're gonna obviously have a stream before we do the predictions for Fulham. But like, listen, I'm expecting a similar, if not close, performance to Fulham as well. I think we can do a number against Fulham. I don't want to just have this game and then go back to like type where like 1-0 win or a 2-0 win.
We're at home as well. I think we'll do fine.
We have to. We need to give the home fans, because one thing I'll say, like in the first game of the season, the home fans stepped up, and I was really impressed with the home fans and how they reacted.
They loved it that day.
They were up for it. They were cheering on the team. They were supportive. It wasn't like it was a total contrast to what it was in the beginning of the season last season, right? Where like they were fucking cheering on Conor Gallagher. They were moaning and groaning.
I mean, they're talking about like they're chanting about the Club World Cup now, like not about just players who left us.
Exactly. I want the high spirits and the belief in the team to continue on, because it does help the team. Like don't get me wrong, having an atmosphere like that, not even so much for helping the team, but having an atmosphere like that, and obviously CJ, who went to the Club World Cup with me in a few of those games, like you can tell the difference that like having a hostile ground or a hostile atmosphere can do towards a player's mentality. Just like even having that, like you don't even have to support the team that much, but if you can just make some noise or boo some of the West Ham players or the Fulham players, which is our next game, bro, that gets to them. That gets to them. You can be the 12th man on the pitch, like literally just going against those players that are up against us at home, just getting into their heads. It makes a difference. And listen, I'm looking forward to the next game, especially after this game. I want to see performances similar to that. Like you don't have to just win, right? Like I don't even care if you score 6, 5, 4. Give me a convincing performance, because today was a convincing performance, and I think all of us can agree with that.
I also want a clean sheet next week.
Yes, I'm disappointed we didn't get a clean sheet. It should have been a clean sheet today. So yeah, I'll even say that as well. But unless we're forgetting anything, I think that's the review. I don't think there's really much else to go over unless you guys want to bring up anything in particular. No, I think unanimous decision. We've gone over pretty much anything that we wanted to speak on. So, ladies and gents, you already know what to do. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. We're almost at 50 likes, so if there's 2 of you left that haven't smashed the like button, it'd be fantastic for you to smash the like button so that we can get to 50 likes. I'd really appreciate that. We're gonna be back. Let me think. I'm gonna try to come back Sunday for a Casually Chelsea show. Pardon me. It's probably going to be a little earlier than the usual 10 UK time, just simply because I have other things I have to do. I have to perform a show later that day, so I have to be able to, I want to be able to give you guys the content. We might get a Xavi Simons. Here we go. This is, we are closing in on the final weeks of the transfer window. There is about 9 days left to the transfer window before it closes. So hopefully we get a Xavi Simons, here we go, and Nkunku, here we go, all these things, maybe even a Nicholas Jackson, here we go. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to tune into the channel, subscribe so you are tuned in whenever that does happen. Smash the like button so you know when we do go smash the bell notification so you know when we do go live. Smash the like button as well so you help the channel grow with the algorithm and all that fun stuff, which has been fantastic. And also be sure to check out the links in the description below for more content. Big up to the panel as always for tuning up and supporting the channel and helping with the analysis that we need for all these kind of streams. But yeah, if you are a proper casual or higher tiered member, we give shout outs at the end of every show, and that's gonna go out to Not Yandu, Morning Zombie, Mo Beta, JB's, Gabriel Mejia, Lanray Sadiq, A Suleiman, EE, Dark, and Adrian. Big up to you guys for your support on the channel as always, very much appreciated. We are going to raid out to Lee Gunner. He's on right now and he's always entertaining to watch, so go ahead and copy and paste the raid message, let Lee Gunner know where you are coming from. And like I said, we'll be back again on Sunday a little bit earlier to do the Casual Chelsea show, go over some of the transfers. And as always, guys, up to Chelsea. I'm glad we won 5-1. Let's continue the form. We're top of the league right now. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Factually, it is accurate. And yeah, we'll catch you again next time. As always, have a good night, stay casual, and peace.